Hello, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We are live. I have the wonderful, ominous, the BeatBoxer, Mike from Faraday Research, and the awesome Michael Boyd with us tonight. We are doing the Science of Sound podcast. Hopefully, Cambell joins us soon, but he might still be sleeping in Australia. I will let you guys take it away. Maybe introduce yourselves clockwise, I guess, starting with Faraday Research.
Hey, how's it going? Everybody knows who I am. I'm on all the time.
Mr. Boyd, good sir.
Hi, I'm Mike Boyd. I'm a researcher. I'm interested in physics and archaeology, and I have some patents on a new form of energy called gravitomagnetism. It's produced by the presence or absence of matter moving in space, and I've posted in the chat here some bio information if you're interested.
I will make sure to bring up the links here before we are all said and done. And you're regular on APEC for those that have joined and watched the APEC streams. Michael Boyd is a pillar of that. And then ominous, good sir.
You're going to learn some science here. That's what I do, but I make a little sound effects in the difference. All right. Back to you there, Bertie.
As I have myself muted out trying to load the links, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. First, I was going to play a video about the solfeggio frequencies and how they affect different emotions and whatnot. But while I get that loaded, Mr. Boyd, do you want to describe briefly the acoustic levitator that you have so generously donated to me and have shipping so I can do some experiments with?
So an acoustic levitator is, well, let me get it, and then I'll show it to you.
Well, in that case, Mike, how about you fill us in while Mr. Boyd is grabbing?
Yeah, oh, there it is.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Ken, I should have.
So what it is a device. It focuses the acoustic. It's like high frequency sound, and it's like a mirror. Acoustic mirror, and there's one above and one below. And so what you can do is you can put an object in it, and it will levitate the object. So that's what an acoustic levitator is. And the reason that it's important is because there's essentially two kinds of energy. There's photonic energy, like electrons and photons. And then there's gravitational energy or inertial energy. And it has more to do with vibration than it does. And it's because you're moving mass as opposed to moving photons. Photons are weightless. So
I have a question.
They're easy to move.
Yes.
I got a question. So the acoustic sound, now, can acoustic sound frequency manipulate gravity? is there an effect where it actually affects gravitational, inertial? Is it able to warp it, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, maybe?
Essentially, I'd say naturally the answer would be yes, because if it's acoustically levitating, then it is bypassing gravitational forces somehow. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it's like floating, like basically one area has a lower density of space-time than the other area, and there's a medium where it's kind of think of your bathtub drain, and the little funnel going down. When you pull the plug, the funnel goes down the drain, and it follows a parabolic trajectory. You know what I mean? It's like gravity goes in distance squared over time squared. So, but on the other side of the funnel is the anti-gravity part, and that's not pulling down, it's pushing out, and it's pushing
it up.
It's hyperbolic as opposed to parabolic, and so that's distance cubed over time cubed, and so it's only strong at the membrane, okay, and so essentially there's two kinds of gravity. There's the pushing type and the pulling type, and it depends on which medium you're going from, the denser or the less denser medium. So it's kind of like space-time is kind of like a superfluid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the fluid dynamics essentially is the higher dimensional, like etherical forces, essentially.
So it's kind of like, it's literally like a fluid. So that's why now, if you look at some of the data I presented in this core link, you'll see that you can see the time difference between magnetism and gravitational energy. There's a time difference, and that's what frame dragging is.
Sorry,
so it's like the Earth is spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, the gravitational field is dragging behind it, and there's a time delay.
Does anybody have like a YouTube open or anything like that? There's weird sounds in the background.
Oh, it's me. I'm at my wife's aunt's house, so you might hear some talking in the background.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they get a little loud here.
So that is very fascinating. So high frequency sound waves, you're talking, Mike. Michael top Mike. Oh, not that you're the bottom Mike. Oh God, what am I doing? So you're saying high frequency sound waves and mirrors.
Well, no, there's no mirrors. There's the sound projector above it and below it. It's like little modules.
This can be great.
I could show you a picture of it.
Using to levitate.
It's gravity.
Yeah, but what material is he levitating this device with?
Heavier density and gravity to like how we say how the planet is like in gravity, and that density creates that kind of.
I understand how he's using some manipulation, but what material is he actually physically levitating?
Well, what are we levitating?
Well, what I levitated was actually just a piece of styrofoam. It only works for certain material.
So it was really cool.
Sorry, Mr. Boyd, good sir, do you happen to have a set of earphones? We're getting a lot of the feedback from the
Are you sure
chirping that's
something?
coming on your
I'm
end.
telling you that I think it's from his.
Oh, from his.
Yeah.
So if I mute, it goes away.
Yeah,
Transformation.
that is correct. It is gone as soon as you are muted.
Transformation. We are experiencing technical difficulties, but we will be back after these messages.
Oops.
Any better? No. I would have a little music.
I think there's a volume like speed control wrong with mine. But it's okay. I'll get back on it. All right, I'm good now.
You want me to log, BurnEye? You want me to log in from a different computer?
Yeah, maybe if you're able to. And in the meantime,
Yeah,
we'll
I could do
play
There is one. There
Take
is
the, okay,
Eating.
let me log off and then.
Thank you, Mike. Sorry. All right.
Reboot.
Oh my gosh!
Exponentially better.
Good news, everyone!
Good news indeed. All right, so we will share some Norb's World talking about the solfeggio frequencies, and
My familia.
go on that.
Today, we're going to go over the solfeggio frequency-like chart that I've put together for you guys. Well, I put it together for myself when I was doing the solfeggio frequencies and starting to connect dots like, oh, this color and this temperature and this luminary and this chakra and this, just everything lines up with everything. And this chart started off with me just putting the frequencies in there and lining them up with the chakras and then colors. And then the rest just kind of happened on its own. So I'm going to go through this with you guys, and I want you guys to use this in your lives. You'd be surprised how much of your life or life events or events in general correlate with this chart right here. So we'll just start with the colors. RGB turned into CMYK. RGB is red, green, and blue. RGB is bottom, middle, and top. Red shift, blue shift also happens here because, as you see in this gradients, we're gradiating from gradienting. There's a gradient from red to yellow to blue. Then it goes back to red after the cycle's over. And there is no transitionary colors between the red and the blue on this chart. And then also the solfeggio frequencies themselves. These are the 7 main ones.
Much better,
There's
Mr.
2
Boyd.
exo. I call them exo solfeggios. They're outside the system, but they're still in the system. And they are 174 and 285. And I'm not sure if that would be 285 up here and then 174 above the 9 to give it that transitionary. But the red shift, blue shift also comes from this as well. RGB is also what we cover in Norb theory that goes over just life in general. Everything comes from this overlap. And in the center is absolute overlap. The 3.33, 6.66, 9.99, the 369, 963, 639, 693, all the combinations stem from this as well. Then we move into the chakras. And as you can see, we cover all the chakras here. And I cover the chakras with a different solfeggio frequency piece for each one. And they're all on my channel, and they're all in the solfeggio frequencies playlist that I'll link to in the description. Beside this, we go through the notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do would be the A again. What's interesting is this goes from A to G, but it only touches on the sharps and flats on the D. Find that very interesting too. Beside that, we have all the frequencies themselves, the actual solfeggio frequencies. Again, minus the 174 and 285, the 2 exo frequencies that are either below it, above it, or one above, one below. What else I find interesting is the solfeggio frequencies are easy to learn and memorize by any numerical keypad. The 1 will start on your bottom left or top left and go through to 9, and then there's a 0. So for the solfeggio frequencies, let's assume you're using your keypad on your keyboard. The 1 is on the bottom left. If you start at 1 and go down on your keyboard, you can't go down any further, so you go back up to the top. 1 would be 1, 7, 4. 2 would be 2, then go to the top, 8, 5, going downwards, having to go back to the top because there's no more letter or numbers below that, right? So 2 would be 285, 3 would be 396, 4 going downwards, 4, 1, back to the top 7, so 417, 528 639. Then the last three, 741 852 963. If you're using a keypad with the number 1 on the top left spot, you just do this in reverse, go upwards. This is where I start to look at frequencies and numbers and sound and matrix code, zeros and ones flying downward. This is literally all of it in your keypad, going downwards in the numbers, pulls these frequencies. I think it's kind of interesting that they lined up telephones, any numerical keypads this way. And if you were to dial your phone, and the tones you hear from this are also very interesting. Something else I want you guys to type in with your phone is 124875. It's a reflection of itself, and it's Tesla math. It's the core of Tesla math. 124875, repeat. You'll notice 369 is outside of that. It's not included in there. 124875. Then we move into the elements, starting at the very bottom, moving up, earth, water, fire, air, sound and ether, light, and thought. Moving to the luminaries, I wanted to do both the heliocentric and the geocentric. And the geocentric is literally me doing this. It's not from text. There is no text about this. It's simply me doing this because I do like to go back to our model, the orb theory model, NORB theory model, and look at the way it's set up and reflect on life as well through this model. And it makes a lot more sense on this model overall, this whole chart, even from colors to luminaries to everything. You'll also notice on the geocentric, we have Polaris up top, which isn't even included in the heliocentric. And we don't have Earth as a quote unquote planet because all this stuff is above the Earth and below the Earth. Next, we move into mantras and mudras. Now, you guys all know the Boule have a ritual they do for Saturn. It's a lot of Saturn worship up in this. And there's the symbology with the circle with your thumb and index finger, right? And the same happens in reverse for the sun and moon, mudra. Now, I'm going to say this, which might be a little, I'm not going to say shocking, but disheartening for you guys. Nothing about this is really evil. Nothing about any of this is evil. It's all simply been hijacked and...
I will just pause it there so we
Now,
can
that is pretty interesting, I must say. Very interesting indeed.
Absolutely.
You know what's really cool? If I should say one thing, you know when you used to watch TV, you get the snow, like the scrambled stations of the white, like all the snow. Apparently, that's the universe from the Big Bang, and that's all based on frequency, sound, and then you look at sonar guns that they use to ward off crowds. That power of the vibration, that those certain frequencies, where there's only a certain decibel that you need in order to severely harm somebody or even kill them. It's really quite wild to think that kind of ability, and you can use it involving even with gravity. How that when we talk about controlling gravity, it's just like a solute and a solvent. A solvent being space, and just occupying that space with something heavier with that substantial gravity, and being able to travel because of that. It's like marbles on a sheet. You have marbles on a sheet and then you're pulling it, but the marbles have that weight down on the sheet. Well, that's pretty much the effect. And if you can control that effect, you can travel with that. Hence, the Bob Lazar kind of conspiracies. But that frequency and sound, it's an interesting thing. Sorry, back to you.
Oh, don't apologize at all. I appreciate it. And you brought up a good point about how sound can harm and that it can also heal. And that's in the second part of this video that NORB does about the solfeggios. And a good friend of mine approached me, former military, done lots of experiments with sound and frequency and coils, Richard Lambert. And he was testing the solfeggio frequencies through these vortex Roden-style coils. And that he said it's very, very risky because, yes, there's the good healing ones, but there's also these harmful ones. And that when they played one of these negative solfeggios through the coil, it actually made them shit themselves in the garage that were around it, all three of the guys. So it's a science that's been classified for quote unquote national security reasons, but there's just so much more to it.
I think it's part of the Tesla files that were all seized after he passed away. I think Tesla was onto this stuff for quite some time. But the problem with Tesla, he never wrote stuff down. He didn't write any books, which is a complete shame. So a lot of the secret stuff has been gobbled up by the Secret Service of the government, and
that's not really true, because a lot of Tesla's patents, the patent is what says what Tesla's if he got a patent on it, it was Tesla's. Okay, so, and he had thousands of patents.
Yeah,
he wasn't like Edison. Edison, didn't like Tesla because he was pushing AC, and Edison wanted DC, and basically he at one point he electrocuted an elephant.
Yeah,
Edison did, to show that AC was unsafe.
Yeah,
right, where it was just like, you just murdered an elephant, you a-hole. Like,
well, Tesla,
executing an elephant, or the guy trying to power the world.
Yeah.
Do you believe that he talked to aliens, though? That he said he communicated with aliens from Mars? Do you believe that claim?
It was some sort of transmission.
Who are we talking about, Edison or Tesla?
So, sorry,
Tesla.
Boyd?
Tesla talked to aliens? Oh, well, I think he could have talked to aliens. I don't know if they'd be from Mars, though. There's not much there on Mars.
A claim from Tesla when it was one of his first Wardenclyffe experiments, I believe, and it was before Marconi did the radio transatlantic, and he had broadcast something up and then reported getting signals back, and that he then said that he thought they were from Mars. And
right.
And
he didn't. So, but that way it's obviously speculation, because he didn't know the source of the radio waves that he was hearing.
Yeah, no substance. Yeah,
it could have been. In my guess, it was probably our government. Claiming to be
reverse engineering government, like reverse engineering government. Like,
well, no, they don't reverse engineer; they steal it. Okay, so they stole Tesla's ideas, and then they used it against him.
Yeah, pretty much. So like the military-industrial complex back then, they took a lot of the stuff that, after he died, and kept it for themselves. And it's not until many years.
Where did Tesla come from? What was his nation of origin?
Oh, he was born in old Croatia, Smiljan, Croatia.
Yugoslavia, essentially.
Yeah,
so
former
part of the Soviet Union?
No. He was born in
a town. At that point, it was part of Yugoslavia. It was either the Czech Republic or
no, it's modern day Croatia. I know a lot of history on Tesla.
Is it Croatia?
It's modern day Croatia. The town's called Smiljan. Okay,
he was born. Didn't like him because he was a foreigner.
No, I don't even know.
Invested in him for a bit.
No, he became an American citizen. He came over as an immigrant, like everybody else did. And he became a U.S. citizen, and he's got a very sad story. The Tesla story is a very, very sad story.
Invested in him at one point, but it was
John
as well. The dude.
Sorry, J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan
was one of the final ones. Before that, it was the what family did I say?
Jacob Astor.
The Astors, yes, the Astors, and it's in one of the recent movies that was made of.
See, at that time,
guy on the Titanic wasn't that?
I think probably he was exposed to too many high levels of RFR, that he was harmed by radio frequency radiation, because basically one of the things I do is I have this group. Nonprofit called Californians for Renewable Energy, and we sponsored this anti-smart meter group. You know what a smart meter is?
Yeah.
So, and they're a wireless device, and so what happens is they produce these microwave. Hold on, I gotta mute. The boss is coming. I'm on.
Hey, brother.
I'm tied up.
Mike's better half. Hello, Mike's better half. Thank you for sharing.
Go ahead.
No,
Hold on. Oh,
it's 10 after 8.
okay. Give me 5.
Converted to be used for evil.
Okay, the boss
There's
is
nothing evil about colors. Evil
I have
about
5 minutes.
shapes,
What?
evil
So what?
about
What were we
anything
talking
about this until you
Okay.
start distorting it and
I'll
using it for evil.
pause that there then. Sorry, Mike's
We don't need
about
any of
5
I can
minutes
come back.
countdown.
Yeah.
Evil stuff is, well, I suppose.
Happy wife, happy life, right? So I understand
You
how
got
that
it.
goes.
I want the wife to be happy. So, what were we talking about? I'm sorry, I lost my train.
Jacob Astor and the elite that is
Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla bit stuff. But we're getting back to the Solfeggio frequencies and wondering if those were possibly what the Rife machine could have been using or utilizing.
The Wright machine? What's the Wright
Rife.
machine?
Right.
Royal Rife? Have you ever heard of Royal Rife, Mr.
Yeah.
Boyd? No.
It's like the
Yeah.
Golden Bell.
Sorry, Ken.
The bell? The like the Nazi bell?
Yeah.
So Royal Rife was an inventor, I believe, around the same time as Tesla, or was he in the
Early 1900s.
Okay, yeah, early 1900s. And he had come up with a sound healing device or energy healing device.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he worked on sound frequencies, and what he did was made a special a microscopic device, high precision, very, very high precision. He was able to put samples underneath, like in a petri dish, and he would bombard, say, like a cancer cell with frequencies, and found out certain frequencies destroyed the cancer cells.
Yeah,
So he was.
I actually worked for this company that the one I got fired from made a device that made had a linear accelerator, and it made a 6 million volt X-ray that would pulse a tumor, like a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And what one of the things, and I used to work in infrared, and one of the things that I found is that you can do the same thing as you're using this gamma ray with just the right frequency infrared light. Because see, in the infrared, normal tissue is transparent,
Right.
but if you have a tumor, it's opaque.
Right.
So you can basically, what you do is you heat it up. If you just heat it up a little bit, it kills the tumor cell.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a very focused type treatment, and I think that's what Rife was working on, stuff that was very focused on whatever the affected area was, and did not affect anything around it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and I think that's what a lot of the stuff he was working on. He was suppressed by the, I guess you would say, the modern day pharma. They didn't like him too much because he was coming up with cures.
But yeah, he was making people get better instead of making money for them.
That's right. Yeah.
And then there was another scientist, academic that did similar work, I think, in the 80s or 90s. He did a TED talk once and then got banned right away, but basically he was rediscovering Rife's work.
Yeah. Anybody who works with Rife stuff, rest assured you're going to be having people show up on your doorstep.
The Men in Black, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to go get some chow.
Absolutely.
What's up, Bernie? Can I come back? Or are you going to?
100%. Yeah, we'll be going for a little while, so you are
okay.
more than welcome.
I'm going to just like skip out for now, and then I'll sign back in. Is that
awesome?
Is that how it works?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Appreciate
Thank you.
It. Thank you, sir. All right. In the meantime here, let's play the rest of this video, and then we shall discuss.
You can use all this for, there is such thing as a good spell, if you will. A prayer you can consider a good spell. Solfeggio frequency music, good spell. Positive intentions, affirmations, good spell, etc. So now we're going to move into the helix and double helix. This is really going upwards. It stems from being horizontal, and it stems from having an understanding of the sine wave again. So let's go back to the sine wave. Put it on its side, and I'm going to give you guys some quick understanding of what this hertz stuff really is. 432 hertz, for instance, is 432. Woo, 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 woo. When you no longer hear the woo, woo, you hear woo, the median, because it's going 432 times per second. 432 woo, woo per second. That's 432 cycles. That makes 432 hertz. It's cycles per second. So there's 432 of these going up and down per second. And when we start talking about G's, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, that's gigahertz. That's gigahertz. 432, we can hear it. 440, we can hear the difference. 528, 963. Once we start getting into megahertz, gigahertz, we're in way out of human hearing territory. We're in harmful territory. This is where bat level frequencies can make things levitate. I mean, any frequency, any resonance properly adjusted can make anything vibrate. You can shake bridges, you can break glass, you can levitate.
Well, it looks like that commercial is really, really getting through. Oh, can you hear that?
Where things start getting
Sound of
tricky
victory.
is when we're using digital instruments, VSTs and DAWs, versus actual pianos, guitars, drums that you can tune and stick to that tuning and have a clean sine wave the whole way through. As soon as you get into the digital world, you're doing destructive editing. That sine wave is no longer a perfect curve going up and down. It's pixelated. Picture this sine wave pixelated. So it's not like this, but it's in steps going up and down. It's broken. And the way VSTs and digital instruments are made, unless they're very, very expensive contact plugins, and some of the internal instruments do this where every single key is its own sample. Oftentimes what they do is they record a C note at A4 440, and then they'll stretch that across many, many keys. This is how sounds are built. And the 16 levels of sensitivity, when you press on a keyboard, you can have 16 different sounds in there instead of one sound going at 16 different volumes. So I can stretch keys across, or I can stretch sounds across the keyboard, and I can stretch them upwards, or I can have a different sample for every key and every level of sensitivity. If it's a sample done at every key at every level of sensitivity at 440, let's say, then you'll get a clean 440 sine wave the whole way through on that instrument. If it's a typical plugin and a typical digital sound, you're going to start destructive editing the moment you get off the original key they programmed that sound at. Might be a little bit difficult to understand, but I'm hoping these visuals help you catch on to what's going on. And what does that mean? That means even when people try to do 440, they're doing destructive editing. So even the guy, like the elite don't like that we play with these frequencies and take them out of pitch. The elite want us to use everything from the box default as is and not mess with it, because that would give them their 440 as clean as they can get to 440, which still is dirty, again, because of the destructive editing. Next, we move into time. Blue shift and red shift, again, happen either at midnight or after every 24-hour cycle. So I put both in here, 24 hours and 12 hours. Beside that are the months, coupled with the zodiacs and the days of the week. So let's look at what just happened with this Travis Scott concert and make sense of it here. All right, we can even go right down to the times, but look at that. It's at the root chakra. It's at your lowest chakra. So we're on a day of 396 within a month of 852 to 963, kind of in the middle of it. So we're in a month of the brow and crown chakra, and we're on the day of the root chakra. And I guess we can even go into time and whatnot. And I'm not saying this will tell you something, but it could tell you they may have been doing a ritual for the god of the root chakra or the brow or the crown. This might have been a huge sacrifice for whatever gods these represent. I should put that in here too, all the different gods and who they pray to and whatnot. I'll do that next update. Okay, and next we do have the biostones. I'll let you guys go through and read all those. It's cool how they really match up from color to texture to everything. It's really cool how they match up. Then our atmospheres. I don't know if the ground level should be down here. I'm putting it here because I believe that everything below this frequency is below ground. Ground, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere. This is not included in most charts I look up out there. When I look up atmospheres, the ionosphere is very curiously only on a couple. It's usually not there. And we all know that that has a lot to do with a lot of our research anyway. The ionosphere, ions always falling on us, ionic energy, ethereal energy, energy harvesting. It's all from ion. It was from all of this, really. But ionosphere seems to be the big one, and it's not included in most charts. Note that when you guys go look this stuff up. Ionosphere. Okay, next, the vowel sounds that each of these chakras make. This comes in handy if you are doing chants. Gregorian chants is another something I've learned about. They got totally hijacked, ripped apart, perverted. But a lot of the chants start with this. A lot of the churches' priests' chants start with this. Amen. Like everything can be looked at as a good and a bad spell, a good and a bad way to manipulate this stuff. And it makes me wonder what frequencies the churches use. I haven't gone that deep yet to see what frequencies the churches use, but I'm betting they've perverted everything in there as far as the chants and whatnot go too. Transparency is next. 0 being thick, you can't see through it. 100% being fully transparent, you can see right through it. And you can use that as a metaphor for the way you live your life. You're either thick and dirty or you're clear. You're transparent. You have nothing to hide. You're proud.
All right, pause it there for a minute. So
What
yes,
a pause it was there, Bernie. What a pause it is.
what a pause. It's why when we listen to Ken and it's live music, you just feel that resonance that much more.
Is this foreshadowing something that I think? Is it coming to this? What comes next? Me beatboxing?
Apparently.
Hang on. Let me do it for a little bit until you tell me, until you can yell at me and I can actually hear. Let's go. Yeah. To go. Like Pac-Man. Yeah. Hang on with me, change. Shit. Yo, bro. Hang on, let me do it fast. Do you want me to keep going, or are you ready to go on and take over? Oh no, I think he wants me to keep going. No, I don't even know. Oh, go. To go. Do you want to talk about frequencies, man? Yo. That's science.
And then
That's amazing.
Thanks.
Does your voice
Oh,
ever
sorry.
get tired? Like when you're doing that for a prolonged period of time, does your throat ever like get restrained or tired or?
I use other things, so sometimes I give it a rest while I put the diaphragm in charge. But I don't want to concentrate on too many things all at one time. Otherwise, you can damage if you go further one route. You know, you got to kind of well-round it. So there's a few things, but yeah, with the throat things, I figured that out when I first started. My throat would get dry, but when I balance it out more, like I was saying, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. They're getting tired just watching you do it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thanks for listening.
How many years have you been beatboxing?
I don't know, about 25 years.
Yeah.
I've
So you
admitted
get
it.
pretty good after a while.
People
It's a
ask
skill,
me, I say,
right?
"Oh, I've heard of it." No. Yeah, no, it's just fun. I just do it all the time. My brother got me into it. He was autistic. He used to make sounds. He used to love frequencies. Certain sounds make him comfortable.
Yeah.
Certain sounds, you know, like that's the thing. Like certain frequencies could be used for the, you know, positive or negative, you know, and specific weapons that can control that and make you feel negative. And anyways, Cole, my brother, would do sound effects. I would make him, and then I got the idea and I heard about beatboxing. So really, he was kind of like the catalyst that got me into it. So I always give him credit when I look.
Yeah, I think we were talking about. Yeah, I think we were talking about this last time. How sound could be used to make your mood change from a negative mood to a positive mood, and also vice versa too. It can be used as a weapon.
Absolutely.
That's it. Music, everybody likes it. It's just a matter of how do you get through to that person sentimentally, or like however they enjoy their music. I mean, that could be a weakness as much as a positive, you know.
Yeah.
And on that same note, I brought up the one that discusses exactly this, where Kanye West, nonetheless, discusses
not happy with Pete right now.
Solfeggios. Kanye is telling us about the 808 being dirty. We're going to watch this together, guys, and I'm going to help break it down a little bit, and we're going to talk some more about solfeggios in general and what he's trying to say. It's interesting that the whole world suddenly wants to know more about solfeggio frequencies. The world suddenly believes, because Kanye said it, that music and frequencies can make young, impressionable minds to go do dumb shit in life. Who would have thought? Because we all know video games and music and entertainment, they can't influence you to go do dumb stuff and lead a dumb life and do dumb things with your time and life and powers and energy. We all know video games can't do that. We all know music doesn't actually cause death, right? Psst. Let's go.
The algorithm, you know what I'm saying? The 808 exists in the lowest chakra of your body. The majority of content that's related to the 808 is killer or sexual content. The original 808s was even off pitch. So that meant it's an actual sound in the track that you don't realize is there that is fucking up your entire frequency. Right. And now today, every time I hear a car come out, it's 808. But if you think about African music and hip hop and what we breakdance to, it was light. The percussion. It was upbeat. It was a drums.
All right, so we heard him break it down, and I cannot find the other interview where he's on Letterman talking about solfeggios too. But I kind of want to say, as this is happening, guys, watch out for the hijack. Watch out for any mainstream artist in the next 3 to 6 months or year try to launch any type of solfeggio good vibrations in their music and market it as such, while at the same time simultaneously pushing death and murder frequencies under it all. Yeah, man, check out my drill album. It's filled with solfeggio frequencies as I yell about my ops and how I'm going to kill everybody I see and kick their puppies and kill their mommies. Like, no, watch for the hijack. Watch for the hijack. But wait. Let me not just be a hater. I am happy Kanye West, of all people, is actually telling the world, bringing some awareness to frequency manipulation, solfeggios, and what this music thing really is. It's just sound and put in sequences in low, mids, and highs. Now, I'm not saying he's wrong. He's actually absolutely right. He's just a little misinformed on a technical level on what it means to have a dirty 808 out of pitch. like he's saying. First and foremost, the producer that made that 808 has a lot to do with it. I'm going to dive into one of my plugins that I developed a few years ago. This is a plugin for Contact, and I made 120 different bass tones, all starting with generated sine waves. Woo, 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 woo. Met at their median, brought down in pitch, and then a kick manipulated at the very beginning of it. So you get that boom, and the nice bass flutters through. So now when I sell this plugin and another producer buys it and starts playing with this bass, pitching it up, pitching it down, and bending it, they're already putting it through destructive editing, and it is no longer 432 or 440 or whatever the original producer put those sounds at. Now, in any DAW, you can change the pitch of the whole DAW and all the sounds it comes with. Then you'll also have to change the pitch of any plugins and third-party add-ons to match the current setup you have, which is also designed at 440. Most sound libraries, 440. Most construction kits, 440, because the beat was done at 440, and then they just chopped out all the layers separately to give you the stems. Here's a clip that's from the beginning of my 432 and solfeggio frequency series. I think it displays what Kanye's trying to say very well with very few words. Check it out. So, did you know your body, mind, and soul are under attack 24/7 by an invisible, beautifully designed cocktail to destroy your connection to your source? It aims to detach your Polarian or soul from itself and the Earth's natural 432 Hz oscillations and vibrations. Your brain synapses are firing faster. Your chakras are off. You're distracted and distorted. And the best part is, you've been taught to absolutely love it, crave it, and need it. Your music is detuned to 440 Hz instead of 432, giving you unnatural vibrations by design. Your movies, colors, branding treatments are filled with oversaturated combinations to literally fuck with your mind and body. The words you hear from your favorite actors and singers are dark spells. The symbols and numerology you ingest every day without knowing it are reinforcing them. And by putting a price tag on them, it literally gives them value. And there you are, an innocent consumer addicted to paying for your own unjust anxiety and demise, and you don't know why. The good news is, there are people like me that are aware of this and know how to start to deprogram you,
People like all
and
of us.
reattach you to your source, with nothing more than vibrations, visuals, colors, and my own combinations of symbols and numbers, ones that are on a positive vibration and frequency, 432 Hertz. All you have to do is listen and watch, and you will not only start to feel the effects immediately, but improve your mood, rest better, and readjust your synapses. Simply listen to and absorb the deep bass, let the mids tickle your soul, and let the highs tingle your brain along with the visuals and colors. Try to literally feel this. And you will also learn to watch and listen to your media and entertainment differently now that you're aware, awake, and back in touch with yourself. Once your mind and soul start getting realigned, don't be shy to start your research on physical cleanses and detoxes as well. On that note, more love and light, and enjoy. Okay, so what is this frequency tuning stuff, and how difficult is it? Well, every DAW can be tuned, like I said, and some even have presets where you can choose from the various different tuning sets that the greats used to use. And basically what's happening is every single key on the keyboard is tuned a little bit differently, and every master used to tune their pianos so that certain notes would be pitched a little higher or a little lower, on top of the whole thing being pitched a little high or a little low as a set. So like I said, I'm really happy that at least solfeggio frequencies are getting some shine. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I really, really encourage you guys to go to my solfeggio frequencies playlist, go through them one at a time, and at least read the description area. Each one has a very good, detailed, thick description of what that frequency does to the mind, body, and soul. And in the near future, I'm probably going to update these as I've discovered a lot of new intel on these solfeggio frequencies tying to much more than the chakras in your body. They tie to parts of your brain, your blood flow, this ecosystem, the luminaries, parts of the atmosphere at different heights, this whole world as a whole. On top of the 432, the solfeggios play a huge part in everything. Parts of food, parts of plants, everything. So we're going to go to 396, as that would be the one Kanye's referring to for the low 808s or any bass tones, really. And all I'm going to do is drop this here and read with you guys. 396 hertz solfeggio frequency music benefits include turn fear and grief into joy, get rid of butterflies, anxiety, bad vibes, feelings of nervousness, guilt, stage fright, any negative emotions. Digital detox number 18, we focus on 396 hertz in 8D. 8D meaning it'll fluctuate the sounds from left ear to right ear on every layer at different speeds, giving you a very stereo image feel. If you guys really want the benefits and effects of this, put yourself in the middle of two big speakers, hopefully that have good heavy bass, and literally soak yourself in these vibrations, okay? You need to physically soak yourself in these vibrations. Having little earphones in your head is great, but the body getting its full effect, you need to vibrate your blood cells. You need to vibrate your whole body with the lows, mids, and highs for this to have an effect, and it needs to be done for at least 10 minutes. I'm going to leave links to all this. You guys please read through all this. I'm not going to read everything, but I want you guys to, and also read some of the effects people are having. You can call them placebo, you can call them real. I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But it's a beautiful thing that the world is starting to wake up to what solfeggio frequencies is. And again, my only concern is watch for the hijack. Watch that marketers just don't run with this now. So on this playlist, you guys will notice there is a bunch of cymatics and 432 tests and sounds and whatnot. So I encourage you guys to go through them as well. This will give you an actual visual on what happens when you vibrate water at 432 versus 440 or many of the solfeggios. And the difference that you see is wild. Okay, so what I did was just take some screenshots from that video, and I'm going to show you guys the differences. Look at the left, look at the unity, look at the even division, look at the right. That's your water in your blood, in your body right now. That's the water in your body right now vibrating, either being fluid or being distorted, depending on what kind of frequencies you're taking in. 432 versus 440, medium volume. Again, notice the nice patterns. Now, not to say these cannot produce the same or similar at 440, but you do these tests yourself and you tell me how easy it is to pull normal and natural frequencies out of 440. And I actually strongly encourage more people out there to run these experiments. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just look at these and take my word for it or try to debunk it based on nothing. Do your own experiments. Check this stuff for yourself. It's fascinating. Another little tidbit, 444 by Jay-Z had nothing to do with time. It is done at 444 hertz. 528 love tone frequency when it's on the C. It's not really for, I don't really know how they jumbled these, but we'll try to break it down sometime and explain it to you in another video. However, my point being, mainstream is starting to catch on, or again, like I said, watch out for the hijack. Maybe this is just clever marketing to get it going. It's still at 440, and most people can't test, can't check. Even I have a hard time actually checking and quantifying if this. $28, but in the near future, out of my own curiosity, I'm going to get this track and I'm going to test it myself. All right, so just like I'm talking about hijacking something pure and turning it into something negative under the guise of being pure, there's also the opposite. I operate as many different artist names on the digital streaming platforms. I do use my own name as well. And you'll notice I do a lot of 432. My top track is actually 432. So album 432. But there's also the reverse, where I do modern music, but I don't tell people these are all solfeggio.
If you can broadcast.
Music is frequency programming. Music is frequency. What frequency are you being fed? If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, target the frequency to go to certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, if I want you to astral project, or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
The brain processes information electrically. It communicates with the cellular structure electrically, and it operates within a certain band of frequency. If you can broadcast frequencies carrying information, this technology has long been known, carrying information and perceptions within the frequency that that the brain decodes information, the brain will decode those frequencies and will have those perceptions. You can externally influence people's perceptions externally by broadcasting these frequencies that we interact with, because we are antenna.
The sad reality is that where we now play our music is in A440. Where did that come from? It used to be 417. A440 came in with the Roman Catholic Church. They suppressed the frequencies. They lost somehow the 152 of the best Gregorian chants, including the hymn to St. John the Baptist, which we've now recovered. That particular hymn was what triggered Dr. Palaio's investigation, looking for those frequencies of vibration by which the music was played. It was known as the most uplifting hymn of all the ages, the most spiritually uplifting hymn. Hymn to St. John the Baptist. It was played to 6 tones. These are those 6 tones. These are those 6 frequencies. And so the A440 is what now is the standard tuning. If you go A439, you're closer to one of the creator's tones. If you go A441, you're closer to one of the creator's original tones. That's how precisely it has been manipulated. To do what? To shut down the 95% of your brain, particularly the right brain that operates the heart mind for the divine human community.
Some decades ago, there was a guy who worked out the frequencies of different emotional states. This is long ago. I mean, it's very, very sophisticated now. So every thought, every emotional response is a frequency. It generates a frequency, and it is of itself a frequency. Hate is a frequency, and it's different to love. You know, when you are in a room and there's lots of aggression and conflict and hatred, you feel it. What do people say? Oh God, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife in there. That is because the frequencies of hate and conflict have been so generated, they have changed the electromagnetic field of the room.
When you go driving your car and your channel on the radio is tuned to a station and you're grooving to the music, you love that music. As you get farther and farther away from the broadcasting tower, that music gets static. You start to lose the signal from the clear channel, broadcast, and it gets staticky. When it gets staticky, you get a little annoyed. But you want to listen to it. You really have a heart for that music, so you continue to listen to it for another 10, 15 miles, and suddenly it becomes so annoying that you just get disgusted. You go, and you shut it off. And if you continue to listen to it, you get sick. That's what we're talking about here. Except you don't even know that you've been listening to the static your whole life. You don't even know what the true resonant frequency is because it has been kept.
Now, of course, to really be effective, we need to use the proper words and phrases, scientifically selected. But that gives you the basic idea. We embed messages just below the threshold of perception, so they can go directly into the subconscious.
They can play across a community these frequencies without anyone knowing, and it starts to have an effect, and it starts to build rage, it starts to build anger, and people might not realize why they're feeling it, but they start to feel it. And then what they do is they trigger that with an event. Maybe some guy is attacked by the police or something, or somebody's arrested for something they didn't commit, and now there's the trigger. The blue touch paper has been lit of this manufactured frequency-driven rage, and you have mass riots and what have you, and people do things that they wouldn't normally do.
So in other words, the master composer, master conductor of the Universal Orchestra is singing love songs in 5/8, uplifting everything simultaneously. And we're the only species out of tune. and accepting static for the clear channel.
Do you know that the American military, they've admitted this. They have technology that fires frequencies at the enemy that basically they give up and put their weapons down.
Good boy. Sorry, I thought it was over. I guess it is now. Your guys' thoughts?
That's pretty interesting. They're talking about sound, and and they were giving a reference to the Bible. Think about Joshua marching around the town 7 times, and then they blew the horn and it toppled down the town, the fortified city. They were using sound technology with some sort of involvement. That's kind of interesting that maybe historically there could be a form of accuracy to things similar to that nature.
Yeah, and also the frequencies I use in my structured water, I use 528 hertz and 432 hertz. And those are the frequencies I pump into my water. But it has to be neutralized first, so I have to put it through a set of high-powered magnets to neutralize the water frequency. And after that's done, then I reprogram the water. And yeah, it's very effective, and it really makes a difference in how you feel.
Very fascinating things, and I like how he's connecting. That was Norb's World that we were playing. I posted the links in the chat for everyone, but I like how he connects sound and color, and how that they are actually both frequencies that are the same. That is why certain people see specific colors when they hear certain sounds or certain memories or tastes, and that they're connected, is that it actually is a frequency that is interchangeable between the two. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, it's true. See, a lot of this information's been hidden from the mainstream, and now it's up to us to, get into digging up the science behind it. And that's why James Ripe, he was suppressed. And, the big pharma did not like him. Actually, I think he was thrown in jail for a short period of time. He did do jail time. So, yeah, I use it in structured water. I've been on it for well over a year now, and I do notice the difference. So there is something to this. Water is something that a lot of people don't think about that is significant to your health, but water is one of the elements that creates life. Without water, there's no life. So, us, our bodies are like over 70% water. So, water is important because it is one of the fundamental elements of our existence, really. So, and, the water purification plants that we have today, they say, oh, yeah, it's purifying our water. If anything, it's making our water even more toxic.
It's killing
for our body. It's killing us. Cancer and all these pharmaceutical drugs end up in our waterways, and a lot of the stuff cannot be filtered out. So you think you're getting a clear cup of water when you take it out of the tap. That's not even close. You're probably getting heart medications in there, blood pressure, you name it. The remnants of all those pharmaceutical drugs are in our waterways, and they're not being removed. So, we have to start taking our water very, very seriously, because there's so much garbage in it right now, and it's making everybody sick in every way. So that's why I've been engineering the device for a while now, and it seems to be working, because I'm turning 49 and at the end of this week, and I feel like I'm just turning 30. So, it's I think it's everybody's responsibility to take responsibility of their own well-being. You know what I mean? We all, some of us might smoke too much or some of us might drink too much, but ultimately in the end, we're the ones that are responsible for our own good health in the end. It's not anybody else but yourself. So, do something about it. Start researching stuff. That's outside the mainstream science. And that's what I did with the water machine. So
lamestream science.
Yeah.
Introductory steps for some. It's like anything. Music, you like it, but then you go a little bit further down the rabbit hole and you find out there's more. I think that algorithms and a lot of things, science especially, once you start going down that hole, you start branching into your interests, and then you go further down those, and then you never know what you might find, especially with what they're working with quantum physics and all that kind of things that make sound vibration kind of, it's all part of a big, larger scheme of things. It's really interesting hearing everybody talk about it too, especially. And sound vibrations to me is interesting because you never know, if those can be, again, used on a bigger scale towards something that could be harmful.
Yeah, like water and sound go hand in hand. If you take a really powerful speaker and you put it near a cup of water, just watch what happens to the water, how it reacts. It doesn't matter if it's in a glass or not, it's going to react to sound. So that's why I use signal generators to program the water with 432 hertz sine wave. And, the water does react to this frequency. Everything is frequency. And Tesla knew this a long time ago. Energy, frequency, vibration. He says, if you know those three and how to use them, you got the keys to the universe. That's a quote from Tesla. So, very relevant today. He knew this over a century ago. So,
well, yeah, the large concept of frequency is it's large. It's very large, and it's compelling as far as music is concerned, or frequencies like going to a music or like a theater, having that surround sound and enjoying that experience so much more. But it's because of that frequency giving you that reasoning to enjoy it more. It's why and how does it do that?
Well,
and can you control it, and can you manage it? And there are certain ways. There's certain breathing techniques, with certain frequencies or music, or it's different, and that's what makes it so large.
Well, that's what they were saying in the video, that, wearing a good set of headphones is good, but it's also good to be in front of a nice big set of speakers and let your body resonate with the sound.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
It goes up and down like this, so you got to be you can't be right in front of the speakers. If you're a good 40 feet, you get that effect more. It's like upon the frequency. No, it's cool. It's interesting. I like that. It's nice.
Yeah, because it's everything. When you think about it,
very well put, Mike. Very well put. And as a personal festival raver and ominous, I can only imagine your fellow experience with that and the PK speakers. There's nothing like dancing to the beat of your own drum.
Yeah, but you don't get the effect when you're hanging right at the front. If you just go back a bit, that because of those frequencies, it hits you at a certain point. So sometimes you miss exactly the full effect unless you really get. That's why when you see the person who's doing the tech, he's walking around and he's got his iPad. He's walking farther away to hear the sound. That's how he's doing all of his, because he knows that frequency is going to hit him in that sense, so he can hear exactly what he needs to tweak with. So instead of walking right in front of it.
Yeah, and that's why if you look at the back of the Roman times and these theaters that they were making, the science that went into designing these theaters, that it didn't matter where you sat in the theater, you were going to get the optimum performance of the sound. So you can look at, Roman history and, how they were making it. Even the churches too, they were designed to emanate that sound of the organs, in a certain area of the church. So, as long as you were in that area, you were going to get the effects. And, people believe, certain frequencies were healing them of illness. So, yeah.
Ken, do you want to do a little bit more for everyone?
Yeah, but it depends. Do you want me to do something like more faster or more slower for our audience here? What do you think?
A little bit of everything, if you don't
Okay.
mind. I think
Okay,
we got
sorry. That
time to
stalled a
do-
good 3 seconds for me to figure out something, and I managed to come up. Hang on. That's gold. Gold in the name of science. Just within his name's ominous. Just breathe. Come on, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, come on. Yo. Back to you, Bernie.
That was freaking amazing, and
Oh, I hope that was all right.
everybody is absolutely loving it.
Okay, as long as they didn't mind it.
Oh my goodness, no.
I'm sorry, can you start over again, please?
I could if they want me to, but I don't want to be annoying because I know how.
Backwards, though.
I won't go longer.
So good.
Yo, what's that on his hat, man? He's a scientist. What is he doing with those beakers? Break him, break him. Okay, I really gotta stop. Sorry.
That was just so amazing. I think you've left everybody speechless.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. It's part of the show with frequency. I hope it gave the positive vibes that we were talking about earlier to you.
Hey,
Even if the
Bernie.
negative ones, well, then that one. We just initiated an experiment, and now we're getting the results. This is
Bernie.
good. There's relevance.
It's what's needed in these days and times.
Hey, Bernie.
Yep, I agree.
Bernie, I'm gonna head out here. I'm gonna be leaving my wife's aunt's house, and
Yeah.
if I get back home and you guys are still on, I'll join back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll catch you guys in a while.
Mike, always a pleasure, and we probably will still be. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Ooh, and I see Mr. Boyd has the levitator going there. This is acoustic levitation we are seeing.
Yeah, I got two pieces of
Look at that.
styrofoam
Oh my
there.
goodness gracious. This is the moment we've been waiting for. See? It's right there. There it is.
Mr. Boyd, are you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm eating my dinner, but I figured I'd set this up, the levitator, so you guys could see it.
That's
when I
cool.
talk.
Oh my gosh.
Can you levitate? One day you'll levitate meatballs in there. You think?
Well, I
Meatballs
want
from
to teleport.
it's rated.
Well, that takes some time figuring out all that coding.
Bernie, that's what I'm sending you right there.
That's amazing. I can't wait
Oh
to
my
try
God,
playing with some of
I
the
can't
monoatomics
fucking wait.
with it.
Yeah, well, I
my
sent
lovely
one to. I sent one to Jeremiah Pop too.
Amazing. Jeremiah is, I believe, is watching and listening. Jeremiah, if you'd like to join, I can send you the link. Oh, there we go. He just asked me to email the link, so I will bring Jeremiah on as well.
He's definitely coming up soon. Slicing, dicing, cutting julienne fries. But wait, there's more. Yes, Bernie is doing it once again. His show captivating the lives of hopefully more and more people as the days go by. This is evident that we are on to something, but hopefully that something will go further. All right, then, back to you there, Bernie. And, of course, this is all brought to you by Duff Beer. You see, there's always a lot in your day, but you always have time for a Duff. All right, back to you there.
Duff Beer. Actually, you guys got a couple more minutes because I'm going to email the link to Jeremiah and Jeremy right now, and they will join us.
It's going to be good.
Mr. Boyd, are you finishing your dinner, or can you talk for a minute?
Well, I don't want to use this one because you're not getting the noise anymore?
We are getting the noise again a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to mute off that one and put my.
This is just an example.
I'll leave it up.
Meatballs were an example.
I'll leave it up, but I'll mute off and then turn my other computer on.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. So much better without the reverb there. Wonderful. So we are going to take a 2-minute intermission as the video plays, and we will have the alien scientist and Jeremiah join the technicians, joining us as well for a round 2 after the intermission.
There's definitely more in store. Yes, we've only cracked the tip of this iceberg. It's always good. Shit. Yes, we know that there's always going to be more in just a moment.
This is the bit, isn't it? That confuses me. It's like, did we choose to come here to get this sorted out, or is this just seems a little unfair, doesn't it? That we seem to be here and there's this parasite messing up our experience.
And, I know in my own life, the times that I've made major changes, it was like it became more painful not to change than to change. That was when I made big changes.
It's this whole ridiculous narrative of it's an unsafe world. There's not enough for you. It's scary. Everyone's out to get you. And clearly the old civilization was completely the opposite to that. It was all about empowerment, like literally.
Cosmic resonance, I think they called that one. Or
cosmic resonance, that's a better name.
Real science, you can actually produce free electricity, and this is part of what Tesla was doing, is the differential between the top of the spire to the ground actually creates an electrical differential that you then connect to another wire that goes into the ground, your grounding. Put that into the third phase in your circuit, and then you have a bell ringing circuit, and that actually produces plasma electricity out of the air. It's real technology. These things actually function producing electricity. It's crazy.
The movies are the truth and the news is the lies. They've completely flipped it.
When you look at everything with new eyes and you come across information like she was born into a very wealthy family with elite connections, it means something very different now to me than it would have even a few years ago. And it's our free will that they've really also messed with, because we've been lied to and we react based on lies. And just getting their independence and end up in civil wars for 20, 30 years happens a lot.
Because we keep choosing to pick up the gun and use it on ourselves instead of building and uniting and accepting that we are one people, one spirit, one harmony on one plane that together, united, can achieve anything we dream of.
So do you want to, wake up or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult?
And then give them pieces of information that they will then pursue themselves and look into, and then they'll wake themselves up.
I was going to mention it's the whole red pill, blue pill of the Matrix. I mean, that of the movie. And you can consider that movie as a documentary because they're telling us something about what's happening here. So do you want to, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult? Wake up.
Oh,
hello. Pleasure to have.
It is a pleasure, man. That ominous. I just have to say, that was some really sick skills. And my roommate does some beatboxing, so I'm trying to get him on here right now. We're setting up.
Oh my, that would be awesome.
We're trying to get Travis on here to do some freaking beatboxing with you guys.
Yeah. I greatly invite it. It's great to listen.
Let's do like a collaboration and stuff. I have to get
I'm down with a collab. I'm always down with a jam for sure. He'll start something and I'll add to it. This is great for the intermission. Yes.
Let me see if I can save this on the other. I gotta save this on the other computer. Oh no, I gotta save this on the other computer so I can access it.
Doesn't like the plastic.
Can you do it on this one?
I can. I just was thinking that maybe.
Set this up, like get something started where we just and get Travis in there. His style's a little different. I'm gonna let him jump on for a second. I was gonna go live on my channel too. Should I?
Do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, can you add it on
from here?
I think you can add it on from here. Can you?
I don't know.
I don't see why not.
We were talking about setting that shit up on yours because there's only like 10 people watching, and I can get like 100 people.
Oh, we're also on Didactic channel, so there's 132 total.
Oh, what's up? Oh, all right, sweet. So I'm on the wrong channel. I was watching you guys on another channel.
Oh, you're watching me on my channel, so that's not the wrong channel at all.
We got like 7 channels, man, because we have to beat the friggin' algorithms, the censorship. You know what I mean, dog?
All right, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to hear the further science. Especially with what are you covering there, mister?
Oh, we cover all kinds of stuff, you know.
I know it sounds a little vague, but if you were to narrow it down into like say like a paragraph as kind of like part of the sum of all.
Oh,
Jeremy's a conspiracy scientist, ultimate researcher.
We do research into everything. We like try to prove or disprove or research anything, any topic.
Nice.
We dig into it. That's science or conspiracy. Anything conspiracy related or anything scientifically controversial.
Oh, that's
Pretty
good.
much.
That's good.
Like,
There's definitely many of them out there, so you definitely got a lot to work with.
Oh, there's lots of it, and there's lots of like, what side do you take? Like COVID-19. Is like. Is Big Pharma 100% telling the truth? There's, is there something more? What's up with this bioweapons labs in Ukraine? That was all propaganda, Russian propaganda, according to the White House. But then, now it's coming out, they're confirmed and all this, and it's like, there's all this controversies in science, and science is a weird subject because scientists are people too, and we're persuaded by money. We're persuaded by our paychecks and our future, employment, and there's lots of incentives for scientists to lie in the modern world, and that's a fact.
The science is settled.
If you think the science is settled, then
well, depending on what theory you believe, science is often needs revision. Needs to be
our Prime
revised
Minister in
after
Canada. The science vaccinated 3 times, caught it twice. So clearly the science says get your shot so you get the disease.
Well, maybe you should have got the Russian vaccine.
Oh,
that's actually debatable.
That's right. You're up there in Canada. Canada.
The Great White North.
Oh man, Justin Trudeau. He's an embarrassment to your whole fucking nation, dude. Like
he really is.
Well, somebody had to say it.
Sorry.
Definitely
man.
true. You know,
I'm not saying that
I
Joe
fully
Biden's
accept
exactly,
that and
you know,
agree, but
Well,
let's
whenever he's
go,
awake, maybe
Brandon.
he might do
Is
something.
he
Who
doing
knows?
any better?
It's tough to tell.
Boy, I'm glad I don't have Joe Biden's son.
That's it, man. You know,
He's got
my
big
kids
shoes
grew
to
up
fill,
to be
eh?
half as.
Big clown shoes to fill.
Well, since we're going there and YouTube and Facebook are still letting us stream, what a crime that they come out now and say, oh, that wasn't Russian disinfo. I actually, and Amber, you can verify, watched lots of the Hunter Biden laptop leaked vids when they first came out, and I am traumatized and scarred for life from what we saw.
Yes, already.
Yeah, well, trauma is something that
Oh
we
my
need to deal
goodness,
with.
and now look at what we're being targeted with.
This is what he was doing when he wasn't careful.
Blocking that user immediately, like pedos attacking our live chat. Just ridiculous.
Oh, we doing this thing? How do I do this?
That's not very
How
nice.
do I do this? I don't even know how to freaking.
Oh, gonna make me seasick there, fucking Bernie. Fuck, you keep moving the screen so much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just seeing if there's a reaction. I was always science experiments, little ones.
All right, how we do this? Hey, can I go live on my channel simultaneously?
I think we just have to add you in
No.
mine.
No, I'm gonna screen capture it right now.
Oh, absolutely. By all means, definitely do. The more the merrier. Jeremiah, did you get the link? I texted you. You might be getting on. Yeah, Jeremiah's coming on too. I will also call Campbell because most people are watching on Campbell's
All right,
channel.
we're gonna go live.
He's
Are we
awakened.
doing this?
Yes, we are.
I think we've been
All
live
right.
for a little bit now.
I gotta. Yeah, let me.
We'll let you do what you got to do.
Give me 1 second.
Yes, that was great. It was nice and pleasant.
What's going on, guys? So we're on a stream. I just started the live stream on my channel. We got a couple people tuning in so far. But hey, it's Saturday night, and Bernie was live, and we're just hanging out and chilling. So I mean, I'll probably take this down later, but I wanted to do a live stream, like simulcast, so we could all just hang out and talk science and music and just chill.
I appreciate you joining, and the more the merrier.
Yeah, dude, that was sick. I want to get back on that friggin' beatboxing business that like your boy was doing earlier, man. How you do that? What the heck is that? Is that you doing that with your voice?
This one on now. Can you guys hear me?
Can you guys hear?
Need animation.
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah.
Talking there. Can you talking to that?
Hello, testing.
Trying to get
Testing.
Yeah.
Testing. You can hear that? You can hear that? Testing?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, try that.
hear
Try
that?
start it up.
You can hear that?
We'll start up. I'll add to it. Okay. We'll do a collab. What's your name, by the way?
My name's Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Man, I love doing collabs. We're gonna kill it.
Yes.
What do you want to? I'm gonna do a song. You'll know what you have to do. You'll know what you have to do.
I'll add. Yeah. Well, we got this.
All right, you ready?
For first time, so everybody, hopefully, humor
All right.
with us.
You can sing.
Girls around the outside.
No, I'm doing beat it.
Sorry.
Beat it.
That was a different one.
I can't do all this lyrics.
Michael's looking down on you, dude.
I was giving it all to you, man. That's it.
Fires in their eyes and their words are very clear. So beat it. Just beat it. Run your bed and do what you can. Wanna be a friend, don't wanna be a man. Run and run now. Do what you can. Just beat it. You wanna be bad, just beat it. Beat it. No one wants to beat it. Show 'em how funky. Show 'em no fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it.
I'm just gonna go off freestyling. I gotta do the weird.
Yeah, no. I was listening to you. No. Let's listen to you for a minute.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, he's like, all right.
How we go live on our channel, man? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm going live on Alien Scientist simulcast, but yeah, we're just beatbox.
I like to also.
No, it's fun, isn't it? I did it because there was nothing else to do, so it was always there.
I wrote a rap. I wrote a rap song, and now I'm trying to find it on here. It was on my document, so it's on the.
If you could come up with the lyrics, I'll give you a good beat right now.
All right, so like, let's
something
do
mid-tempo. Just give me an idea. I'll give you a beat, and then you just lace your
lyrics
over.
Let me go with the lyrics. I'm gonna save.
If we got the time, I don't want to steal away. If there's a schedule, I don't want to This is okay. That's fine.
No, we're doing this.
Oh, we're good. It's all good.
Okay. No. I just.
In the meantime, I will play a short clip on acoustic levitation for the science of sound because that's what we are.
All right.
I know that song. That's one I always do too. Or this one. Early morning, rising through the street.
Oh yeah.
Got me for that feet on my feet. Got to find the reason things went wrong. Got to find the
reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian, and I can still get high. And I can play the guitar like a motherfucking riot. Life's too short, so love the one you got, cause you might get run over or you might get shot. Never saw no sign, I gotta get it off my chest. Never had the
I can't. I'm not even singing in the right key, dude. This sounds fucking whack.
Anyway,
bring it together. Let's bring something together.
Okay, like you got some lyrics down?
This is stupid. I have some lyrics. And I'm trying to.
All right, let me give you a nice beat. It won't be too fast. I won't jumpstart you. Don't you go dying on me now. No, I'm just kidding. Hang on. I don't know what you're capable of yet. So let's do this.
Oh no! I got this freaking song I wrote. That's funny and it's got some good lyrics.
All right.
I don't know if it's
Let's
ready
get
for publication yet, though. Maybe I should
It's up to
save
you.
it.
I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to peer pressure you. It depends
Maybe
what
I
the
should
audience
save
wants.
this,
No,
dude,
we don't got time. Well, maybe we do. I don't know. Hang on. Let me give you a beat. Let's start with that. All right.
Get lost. I'm gonna grab my guitar.
Let me go for a bit. Unless you're ready.
I'm gonna like end this live right now.
Oh, who cares?
I'm gonna try harder, and you know what? I wasn't prepared for this, so I'm gonna end the broadcast on my channel. If you guys want to check this out, where can they go to check this out and watch this live?
I will
Crypto Alchemist.
link to you right now.
I don't really sing rap very often. I can sing, but I don't need to learn to sing, man. I'm pretty good. I just don't. I'll do some metal. You guys put on a backing track, I'll sing some metal. Dude, Third Phase of the Moon, they have a band, dude. Those guys to have a music video out. Have you seen that? Their music video?
No, I haven't.
What's up? Yo,
I have.
Why don't we
Decent.
send them the link, man? Let's post the link over here so people can join.
Yeah,
there's only a few dedicated fans out there that are out there, man. If you guys want to join,
Yeah, let's expose that. While we got everybody on here, let's listen.
Well, come on here. You know, everyone who's like learn to sing. You know, come on, and I want to hear your skills.
It's all about coming together. The science
Yeah,
of
bro,
sound.
if you're, like, really
posted
good.
the link for you,
Collaborate.
Jeremy and the private. Hello, Jeremiah.
I want to try a reboot of that Sublime song, seeing if people want to talk shit about my Sublime skills.
First off, thanks.
All right, let's see if you can do this live. All right, y'all. I want to see how good you are to do this live on a Saturday night.
Early in the morning, rising to the street. Got to light my cigarette and strap shoes on my feet. Got to find a reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian and I can still get high. I can play the guitar like a motherfucking riot.
Sorry, I messed up completely.
No, it's okay. It happens. The sound
proved
is a good jam so far. See, I mean, you know, you work on these things, you tweak them, then they get just golden.
First love the one you got, kiss you might get run over or you might get shot. Never saw no static, got a kid off my chest. Never had the battle with the bulletproof vest. Just only take it to the dip for me. Take it on your money, give it all. Carry it, love's what I got. It's within my reach, and it's stop line style. Still red from Long Beach, no promise back to you. You're gonna get what you deserve. Try to test that, you're bound to get served. Love's what I got, the gold star right out. Even when the desk gets hot, loving is what I got. Loving is what I got. cry when my dog runs away. I don't get angry at the bills I have to pay. I don't get angry when my mom smokes pot. It's the bottle and goes right through the rock. Well, fuck you, got it, it's all the same. To live like Louis Dog's the only way to stay sane. Let the loving come back to me. Loving is what I've got. Said remember that. Loving is what I've got. Said remember that. Loving is what I've got. Said remember that. Loving is what I got. I got.
Yeah.
This like falling apart.
That was good for fucking around. Yo, it happens. It definitely had its moments. That's what life is. It's just a bunch of moments. There's a few good ones here.
It's like we're trying to get in the groove, but it's just us hanging out here, and it's.
Well, I hope I assist you a little bit more with your groove.
Yeah.
Well, we can. Let's do this one. If I get my guitar, we gotta be tuned together. I don't know if you want to mute it real quick. Let me tune real quick. Here, give me your E.
I'm like low.
Mike, are you able to put oil or water droplets in that levitator?
I don't know. Good question.
Oh, hey, we got a live experiment here going on. Is this Michael Boyd? Is this your experiment?
Which one are you talking? There's two experiments. There's one with red contact
There's also
wires.
Jeremiah.
Let's focus on
Jeremiah's here too.
You see, the other day, Mike and I had a quick chat, and we were talking about ultrasonic levitators, and he mentioned these little eBay kits. So I figured, why don't I take some transducers and try to toss one around? So what I have here set up are the cheapest of the cheap, crappy receiving units. These are not supposed to be transmitters. They're supposed to be receivers. There's really no functional difference. But what I can demonstrate here is, so I've got two different channels hooked up, and by controlling the phase angle between them, I can, now let me just see if I can not hold that, right? Because holding that's not working well for anybody. I'll try to get this a little closer. There we go. And by varying the phase angle, I can change the height that little bead likes to float at. Hey, come on.
The winter, I mean, the summer, the warm weather, like stretches the car.
Yeah, that's a let go, of course.
The cloth is shouldn't be in contact with it.
No, I should. Well, I've also got the phase angle way out. So I'm set it back to 0. There we go. Like I literally threw this thing together in 5 minutes, so it's not exactly the most ideal or perfect setup, but I can just tilt it so that it's level for a 5-minute build using the cheapest parts possible.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It will work.
Anyways, here we go. Now I can change the phase angle. It's not a
cool
obvious effect.
Look at that
It allows
fucker
me
go.
a little bit of control for where actually in the field.
This is good. The beginning to many things.
Is that just
Look at that.
it's styrofoam you got in there, right? But
right, it's styrofoam. By
but it's the
forces
it's
are
not
pushing
the,
against it or something.
Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God.
Yeah, but whatever it is, there it is. Until it gets out of the field.
Yeah, basically, I only have
It's
a.
not like a unified.
It's not a field. It's what it is.
That's
It's
neato.
medium.
Well done, Yang.
The
Neato.
medium
That's
in which it is
radical.
space time, and it's shaking, and it's not shaking uniformly. It has nodes, and if you get it
That
in the
shit's
right
fucking
node,
interesting as hell. I love
it's
that.
just there's no gravity because of the nodes. Everything's moving in space, and everything's shaking.
Get over here.
But it's not in a unified geometry or shape, right? Like it's like a random boulder, essentially, or pebble.
I don't follow.
The shape of what you're levitating, Jeremiah, right?
Right. This is just a little piece of styrofoam I busted off. And really, the only reason I set this thing up today was just to kind of, well, first off, play with it, because I've never thrown together one this cheap. I used huge transducers before, which were not really idealized for this, and I wanted to see if I could sync the particle up, or sync this piece of styrofoam up, so that I could raise it and lower it. But there happens to be just one specific node where if I move it outside of that, it'll pop right out. It basically pushes the thing right out, and I can see that I'm in that. So I'll set this back to 0 degrees phase angle so that it's dead centered. And my thinking was this: we can control charged particles using the same effect.
What if you were to like put like a little piece of weight inside that, like a little piece of metal or like solder?
Yeah, there we go. Down.
We're not live yet.
Oh,
You
they
encased
can,
that?
Muted right now.
Oh, I can't hear.
But you get the basic idea.
Is it the styrofoam because of the weight, or is it
Because of the density of the styrofoam. It would be interesting to see if it would work with a piece of balsa wood.
Sounds like a video game song.
A piece of balsa wood. Yeah, that would be. I don't think these transducers are anywhere near powerful enough.
It sounds like it's from a video game. From a game, I know what it's called. It's an air game.
And I wonder if it would work with oil or something.
Exactly. Amber was just mentioning ferrofluids as well. She's thinking of buying me some to play with, and that's awesome, Jeremiah, that you're able to replicate that. What all do you have going into it?
Okay, so what I've got going into it is this. I've got a function generator, and what I'm doing here is where I was raising and lowering it. We're looking at that phase angle right there. So just by changing the phase angle between the top transducer and the bottom transducer between 0 and 360 degrees, we have a bit of effective control between those two nodes, and we can control exactly where the node and the antinode shows up. Now, based on their spacing, I only have one ideal node in there, so the interaction between those two unideal, cheapest transducers don't really give me a large area effect. But that's all I was doing when I was raising it and lowering it, is just simply changing the phase angle between channel 1 and channel 2. But you can do this with large arrays, and there are some fantastic demonstrations of being able to move a particle or a piece of styrofoam about that same size as fast as 1 meter per second, which quite frankly just looks like a blur. It's a line that shoots straight across and looks like a freaking UAP jumping. So by changing the dynamics of the pressure waves around it, it's really analogous to what we can do with electrodynamics, where we could effectively do the same thing with electric fields or magnetic fields around a craft that was propelled by the same means.
Synchronize them.
Exactly. That's a much bigger piece. I don't know if I'll be able to float a piece that's that large.
It's all about tuning.
We'll try a slightly bigger piece though here. There we go.
Ask him. Let me hear it. Give me unmute. Hey Jeremiah, do you think if you were to put something heavy in the middle of that styrofoam, it would have the same effect, or would it just end?
Oh no, it'll fall right out, because these transducers, they're drawing probably, I want to guess, probably about maybe an eighth of a watt each. So the amount of energy going into this system is so incredibly minuscule. It's actually quite miraculous that it can even levitate.
What if you started with a grain of sand or something that's non?
Well, I did another experiment, and it's similar to this, but instead I used a 100-watt transducer, and I accidentally found this out. I had a mixing cup inside of my homemade sonicator, and in that time I turned the thing on, and what I did was went to Goodwill, got this stainless steel cup, and just epoxied the big old transducer to the bottom. And while I had it on, the entire cup started to ring at its own natural harmonic, which is way, way different than the driving frequency at 28 kilohertz. It started to ring somewhere around maybe 600 or 700 hertz. And the cup that I had, the mixing cup that I placed inside there, shot up out of it and started floating above the entire cup. And that entire system, I believe it was lifting something like 7 grams. Which is quite significant.
Yeah, that is.
That's my friend. That's my friend.
But the funny thing is, it wasn't the ultrasonic transducer that was doing the levitating at that point. It was the transducer perturbating the cup, and its much lower frequency that was in the audible range is what was doing the levitating. So you could have just as well done it with a speaker, as long as it focused sound waves. So you don't need super high frequency, and you don't need piezoelectric transducers either. You can do this with trumpets. You can do this with subwoofers. You can do this with just about anything that you can create an interference pattern where you have a standing wave.
How about like 100 trumpets and 100 trumpeters at the walls of Jericho? You know,
Yeah, that's what I was saying before.
Do some serious disruption with phase harmonics.
You know,
They had to march around 7 times
trumpet.
first, though.
Right. Yeah,
Well,
we gotta like.
What have you guys heard of Sazer waves? It's a laser, but instead of a light, it's made from sound, so it's a sound beam.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Oh yeah, they can like.
That's cool.
You can like whisper in someone's ear and like a crowd of
pulverize
people.
from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, turn them
Yeah.
into mush.
Oh well, that's
Certain architecture that can
They have
accelerate
sonic
that.
weapons. They're banned by
Geneva?
They're considered a war crime.
I don't know if that really matters anymore.
It always matters.
Well, there's like
Peace on earth. That's why we're here. Being positive.
Well, Putin doesn't seem to mind, so he can.
Yeah, we stay out of politics. They're all idiots.
Yeah.
What did you say about the oligarchy, the ruling oligarchy? Sorry.
They're all corrupt in one way or another. I want to play. I'm trying to find the video clip right now, but where it shows the actual frequencies of light wave and then the same frequency in sound wave. And it's extremely fascinating because it's the
That
same
it looks
resonant
surreal,
frequency
man.
as
Just
chakras.
seeing that.
That's pretty.
What happens if you were to
stable,
take?
Jeremiah.
What happens if you were to like put something around it? Could you like maybe?
Yeah,
take
it would cancel it out. It would cancel
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
I can demonstrate that right now. So let's take a piece
Like
of
a piece
metal
of paper
that's
or
highly
something.
sound reflective, and we'll just go ahead and push on it.
Okay.
I just want to like ask: are we warping the space-time continuum like around it at that point, similar to like how we would have to levitate our metamaterial bubble craft using?
You're making space-time vibrate.
Technically,
Yeah.
the answer is yes. We are affecting space-time around that, and the reason for that is the language of the universe, as far as I'm concerned, is motion. Some use the word action instead, but it's the most fundamental
action and
thing.
motion.
So when you have motion and you add it to charge, you have a new property where you have geometrically amplified fields, and I think that's the really interesting part. So imagine instead of a styrofoam ball here, which I know you guys were asking what happens when you put an object nearby, and I'll go back to this. But
What if you put a piece of paper under it, like in between it?
yeah, I can do that right now. Let's grab a piece of paper that's far too thick. Now this piece of paper is going to be way too thick. This is actually not paper; it's backing from tape. So if I bring that in, I'm going to instantly disrupt that field, and it'll drop right out.
Insulating it. Yep.
At higher power, though, it'll pass.
Like what about a
that
tissue paper or something thinner?
Like wax or no, that'd be heavy.
Yeah, that's probably a good insulator.
Maybe wax paper, aluminum.
Yeah, it
How about a
has
cigarette
no-
paper,
it has
like a
nothing to
rolling
do with
paper?
Charge.
It might
has
go
nothing
through
to do with
aluminum.
charge. It only has to do with sound.
Aluminum because
Sound.
it's reflective, maybe.
Aluminum.
well,
I don't know.
Has
what
there
would
been
happen
any
if you put a
effects of
little
levitating
piece of
humans? I know they levitated a frog in one experiment, but I don't know if there's been any long-term biological effects studies.
Did it live?
Yeah, further
Did it
study
live?
is needed.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
the
Probably will
frog
not
lived,
through a loop.
but I like.
Oh wow,
it's kind of like I use a jackhammer.
that's
to
not affecting it,
sometimes,
really. Well,
we
I
use
guess,
we
yeah.
we had to get like a 7-amp jackhammer to rip out a floor, and once you use it for like 2 hours, you got to take a break, man, because it's like you start feeling that vibration in your arm, and like it
almost
does
like a
weird,
workout.
it does weird things to your muscles. It's like, back in the 50s, they used to like hook you into like this machine that would just vibrate your muscles and and it would shake you. And they call it a workout for like, and then they were experimenting with that with physical
I know
therapy.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee was on
Yeah,
one of
the
those.
bands and like
just like
Bruce Lee did that.
It's like a jackhammer.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, to do as much exercise as he could, even when he was relaxing, he would have these things connected to him, and they would be just it sounds similar.
That's like
anyways,
electric.
Well, I don't think.
like
So it looks like we wouldn't have too much trouble finding guinea pigs for human levitation experiments, but heck, frick it, I would do it too if it's like well, the frog lived. Shit, sign me up.
You'd start like a skydiving thing, or
we like skydive. Yeah, like the like those places
or like
where
a
people
zero
go into
gravity,
the
like
zero-
NASA.
Yeah, they have the wind tunnels where you can go in with the suit and you can fly.
Pretend like you're skydiving. Yeah,
we'll have like our sonic one where it's like, no,
That would
you
be
gotta
cool.
sign the waiver and it's
take off your jewelry.
No
Maybe.
more 2
I don't
minutes.
know.
20 minutes max. Until we know it's safe and until that teenager sits in there for 7 hours and proves that everyone look, I didn't die.
Why are your eyes so red?
Why are you
bleeding from the nose?
Would you ever go in one of those negative like those noise like negative like decibel rooms where it's super quiet to the point you can hear your organs?
I think I would love that.
Totally go in there.
I would go in there.
It's in Canada.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, the
people say they go crazy. They like start to lose their mind after a while.
We got to
After
take
a certain
if you-
time.
I think I would find
when
myself.
gas
in there.
goes down, maybe we'll take a UFO road trip there, and we'll pick up Bernard on the way.
That'd be wild.
Oh hell yeah!
We'll go to that. It's in Canada. I know it is, dude. Let's look it up.
They got one. They got them in the States too. I heard there was one like
Yeah,
somewhere.
it causes insanity. We're gonna put that to the test,
Yeah.
bro. I want to like
'Cause
put
it's
like the
negative
video on
15
you, like-
decibel, I think it is. Like something like that.
Yeah, it just
Like
eats the
negative
sound. You can't like you
So
can
you just hear
almost
your
can't
organs.
even hear
You hear your organs going
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
and it's like it just drives you nuts. Like because that's all you can hear. Like you hear your yeah.
Apparently, it drives you insane. So like I used to do work in like I used to do work.
where it's like so quiet that it's
Shut this off.
I've been in a
Okay,
quiet place
guys,
where I could hear the blood flowing through my
I
ears.
got a piece of I got a piece of aluminum to levitate.
When you do contractor work inside an insane asylum, they make you count all your tools, all your razor blades. Like you can't leave
really?
anything
Yeah.
And
behind.
cover,
Like,
just as long as it's
really
your
bad,
cover.
man.
oh, every color's my color.
So like I
Mr.
can't imagine.
Boyd,
Like,
you're saying you
we're
got
just gonna make a
aluminum
video
to
where you go in
levitate
there
in
with like a
yours. Oh
screwdriver.
yeah, look at that.
And you lock yourself in the soundproof.
Oh, what? There we go. Let's
What is
see.
that?
Let's check this out. This is so cool.
Let it set.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, well,
let's continue further with the levitation.
so much for that.
We'll just have the experiment. It's like how long can you sit in the completely soundless room before you grab the screwdriver and
I
stab
think the
yourself?
longest was 40 minutes to what was it? 40 minutes on average.
I can't do it anymore.
Like yeah.
Just get me out.
I don't know. I think I
I
would
would want
enjoy
to
it.
try it because I heard little amounts can be healthy for you because it's like quietness, right? To the point where
Yeah.
it's like you get-
like
I've heard if
meditation.
you go in with
I
the
think
right
I could-
intent, that you get some pretty epic out of body experiences in the
man.
deprivation chambers,
Do you
right?
think
You're
it's
all-
interdimensional?
Yeah, if you
Right?
had that with the deprivation
know?
chamber, like that would be
This is
another
like how you
level.
set it up, right? If you put them in the tank and you're like, listen,
Yeah,
you're
look at
gonna
that.
go
Aluminum
we're gonna see
levitator,
how
right?
long you go crazy before you stab yourself in the eye with a screwdriver.
So good
Then
guess.
they're gonna
You can
stab
levitate
themselves in the
aluminum
eye with a
foil.
screwdriver.
That's all good.
I had a feeling aluminum would work.
Yeah,
Oh,
aluminum works
yeah.
pretty well.
It's got very strong electrostatic properties.
Like
You know,
this
I bet
color.
that aluminum's going to be a lot more responsive. It also seems to want to keep on
Spinning.
rotating. I gave it a little bit of a preferential twist so that when the sound waves hit it, it would give it a torsion. So just one of those edges is twisted slightly so that it keeps it spinning. And now I should be able to slightly more control that spin. If I can set it back up in there, I should be able to control the spin up and down and its position between those two transducers. But being a flat piece of foil, it's really finicky.
What if you were to, have you ever seen those?
So watch this. I'm gonna.
Have you ever seen those heat lamps where it has like a black, one side's painted black and the other side's silver, and then if you shine light on it,
I got a piece of foil here levitating.
I wonder if you could combine that. And...
Crooks interferometer.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Crooks radiometer.
Radiometer.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Though.
Radiometer. Yes, it measures radiation.
I guess I gotta set that phase angle back to 0 if I really want to get it stationary.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about the
There we go.
The soundproof room just got me like on some other level because like there was all those memes going around the internet about the soundproof room saying, "Oh, you're gonna go crazy when you go in there." So I'm just like,
But doesn't it strike like some inquisitiveness? Like you just want to see like what does it mean? Like why does that happen? You know, like it's like the outside sources that we don't know or that haven't been finalized in really explanation as to how that happens eventually to people. It's crazy.
Yeah, like how does that affect the brain? And how would it affect my brain? Because I don't think I would go crazy. I think I could deal with it, dude.
Yeah, it might make you
like those friggin' like the haunted house. When I watch those haunted house things, like where people go and like, oh, I can't spend more than like an hour in this haunted house before they go crazy. It's like Dracula's castle and all that shit. Like, bro, sign me up. Sign me up. I'll go all night.
Yeah,
I'll go there.
It's all intentional.
I will conquer my fears.
Have you guys ever seen a ghost?
Oh yeah, several.
No.
You can feel it. Doesn't it get cold?
I took a picture. Picture of a ghost. Dude, it's 6 months apart.
In a room that
crazy. I always find it feels cold when it happens. Like it's kind of cold in the room.
My ghost was happy.
I was
right. You got a happy one. Well, my
maybe-
mom's a medium, and I thought she was insane for the first 20 years of my life until she had accurately predicted the death of her dad, a strange dad that she hadn't seen in 40 years. And she said she'd know when he was going to die because he would come talk to her. And then one winter, like around Christmas, she's like, yeah, my dad's dead. And sure enough, the government finally released the files on my grandpa because he had died. And then my family was given access to it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So I got a crazy question here from my audience. Right. This is actually from the Blake cousins, the Cousins brothers, Blake and Brent. We're gonna take that full screen that experiment with JP with that Jeremiah Pop's doing right now. Right. So we get this piece of aluminum foil, right?
No, that's styrofoam.
Oh, styrofoam.
Right now I got styrofoam in there. I'm gonna pop that foil back in there.
You're missing it.
Is there any way we could scale this up and put a human inside this? So like we could float, I could float in there and make it safe.
That depends. Do you like your sense of hearing?
Oh, that's true.
Ooh.
And would you like to keep it?
Frequencies you have going through
I
it.
disagree. It's too high a frequency for us to hear.
Oh, we won't hear it, but it's still gonna be
damaging
the eardrums.
Right.
Compared to radio frequency radiation,
frequencies.
I disagree. I think RFR is a lot worse for us.
Even if we put like a helmet on, like maybe like a soundproof helmet or like something that was like resonant.
Yeah, you could put earmuffs
maybe like
on.
that silent room inside
Cover
the silent room.
Float.
Noise cancellation too. You could have like the negative wavelength, 180 degree out of phase. So it cancels the. But then you got the scalar waves, right? Where does the energy go?
So the question was, Jeremy, whether we can size it up for humans and put it in. What I would bring up as relevant is the cymatic frequencies where, like if you've seen them in water, and they do all the rippling and whatnot. Since our body is 90% water, would it do that rippling within the cells and break or do cell damage essentially with that
Oh
high?
yeah.
Or,
Oh god.
or even
dude,
DNA,
imagine,
maybe
dude.
on
Ugh.
DNA level too. Who knows?
Well, I mean, isn't that what your cell phone does to you too?
Well, isn't that what
why I use
you want to do
speakerphone.
when you go to the gym? That's why like they use it for this exercise machines. You know, it's like, oh, that's what you want to do when you go to the gym. You're trying to break down cellular tissue in your muscles so that it rebuilds stronger. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Well, that's
could be-
different. You sign a
Yeah,
contract
it's
for that.
totally different, but
Here's that power cell that I was working on, carbon graphite.
when we're talking about pumping you up,
Oh, awesome!
you know,
You're working on power cells. That's rad.
Yeah, here, Mike rejoined from Faraday, so we have two mics with us, by the way. Faraday is currently showing his graphene.
Graphite,
Graphite.
carbon graphite. Yep.
And magnesium, correct?
Yeah,
So what's that? An
magnesium's
LED?
wrapped.
An LED board, Mike? Is that what?
Yep.
That,
Yep, that's it there.
and how many
And
LEDs are on
each one of the cells here puts out about 1.5 volts. And the second I put water on it, it bumped well over 500 milliamps in power. So I got about 6.2 volts at 500 plus milliamps. So as long as I keep the cells wet, I got power. So I put them on just before I left today to my wife's aunt's house. And when I got back about 8 hours later, they're still on. So I added a towel with a bit of water on it, and she came back to life within a matter of seconds.
And that's fascinating because I found that some of my monoatomics, when I had two coils going in on the anode cathode side and different differentials of the salt water and the monoatomic, that as long as the water stayed in and didn't evaporate, I was getting a constant voltage out of it as well.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's funny with these things, there's no battery acid involved, nothing. It's just magnesium, carbon, graphite rods.
There is battery.
And you made those?
So
yeah,
the battery
handmade?
acid's H2O.
Look at those little
you
fuckers.
handmade those. You didn't have to machine those at all. Those are like really nice windings.
Yeah, I did that all by hand.
And those are cloth fibers.
So what's the
right?
voltage that you're getting off of one of them?
Each cell is 1.5 volts.
Oh, all right. So
All right, and then when I hook everything up, it was 7.8 volts. And then when I added the water to it, and the amperage went up, I lost about 1 volt. So it was about 6.2 volts at about 500 plus milliamps.
So, one of my audience members, again, the third phase asks, maybe it could turn into a frequency that could be therapeutic. And I want to point out that research. Royal Rife started research on this. If you look that up, Royal Rife, R-I-F-E, and he began a lot of research on this way back in the day. It was ridiculed and like outcast, but now they actually teach a lot of this. You know, there's actually a professor at a university right here in Massachusetts, out in Worcester, that you know, worked on some Russian program for this. That you know, they teach it at the college and university. They're like, oh, the Russians, you know, we developed this whole thing, but you know, it's like it's the thing is that you target all these different things when you resonate at those frequencies, and they can target all kinds of stuff. So you can damage things that you don't want to damage things that you do want to damage. You know, like
here I got my water machine.
Power in the wrong hand.
It's not an exact science. So yeah, you can use it therapeutically, and it can be used to like, but there are side effects. So you can tune this frequency to like target the cancer cells, for example, or something.
Yeah. So I'm putting 528 hertz and 432 hertz into my water. This is my structured water machine.
Is it just pure water? Or
Yeah,
does it have
about
a
the structured water thing? And
so I made the machine.
Yeah. Or make it.
Yeah.
Water is quite an interesting substance because it has that unique bonding angle, and it's able to retain.
How long do those batteries last?
About 8 hours, and then I got to put some water on it, and they just come right back to life.
And that's
with
it. So
settings.
that's
Yeah.
basically it. It's like, so what? So the water dries up.
Yeah, the water just evaporates from the air, right?
Yeah.
So if I put it in a sealed container and have water at the bottom of it, they should stay on pretty much indefinitely.
Yeah, just for the audience that doesn't know, Mike just made these batteries for the first time and started testing them last night. So he just discovered this morning that they dried out, but then added water and they rejuvenated, recharged themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
there might be ways to
And what about the charge too? Is it like a slowly like, is it slowly getting less voltage, or is it something
Very
like
slow, very slow.
It's not like a lithium battery where it kind of all or nothing.
No, it's a very, very slow discharge, but second
Okay.
put the water back on, boom, she comes alive.
Do you think maybe if you try other things besides water that maybe you can?
Well, the guy that invented this stuff a long time ago, I don't know if you know Laser Saber, he came up with these batteries well over 10 years ago, and he would boil salt water and activate it that way, and he got pretty good results with that too.
Yeah.
So I just put the damp rag on it and it comes back to life.
Wow, just like that, huh? So it's almost like, instead of solar power, it's like rain power.
Yeah, those
exactly.
Those are interesting.
Well, I was suggesting we could take people after we cremate them and make them into carbon,
carbon fuel.
Yeah, and recycle them.
Yeah.
For producing energy.
That's it.
Remember Soylent Green?
Well, spaceship, we're gonna have to, like, how are we gonna, like, incinerating toilets are a really good idea. One of the good things that Bill Gates did for the world and inventions that he actually helped put out. So we'll give him credit where credit's due.
Well,
because if you're in space, what better way to get rid of waste and recycle it than the incinerator?
Yeah, like this, all this material here is totally recyclable. You know what I mean? There's no toxic materials involved at all.
Yeah.
So now I have a piece of styrofoam and a piece of foil levitating at the same time.
Where is that? Oh, I see. That's your camera too. Okay.
So foil works too.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, isn't there different foils, like aluminum foil and tin foil, or is that the same thing?
Yeah, I just have aluminum foil.
Isn't tin foil also aluminum foil, but not actually tin? But then there is real tin foil.
They haven't had tin foil for a real long time.
But if anybody send me it. Could really use a whole roll of that old, classic 1950s, 1960s tin foil. I think I've got it now where I can control the rotation if I get it just right. There we go. Yep.
Well, tin is just a mixture of metals, I think, anyway, right?
Well, a lot of tin is in.
There it's stable, and here we can make it rotate. If I just drop the frequency a little bit, bring it up a little bit, change that wave interference, make it rotate the other direction. Bring it back down, reach that stable point, try to make it rotate the opposite direction. There we go. Now, if I let it spin too fast, it's not exactly a balanced piece of foil, so it'll fling it right out of there. But
yeah, like blow itself out almost.
Right, but here I can make it change direction and bring it back up.
Is that just by changing the frequency or the flow?
No, the frequency is fixed at 40,100 cycles per second. But by controlling the phase angle, I can control where those waves are hitting because it's not a symmetrical piece of foil, so I can control the spin direction.
So you probably could do it. You probably could do it if you had a protective suit. You were saying that would be harmful for your ears. If you wore a protective suit and it had like of a magnitude of that size, you could levitate a human without harm.
At a high enough frequency, your eardrums might be okay, but what probably wouldn't be okay is the phase conjugation that happens underneath the skin. Those sound waves can add up as they're attenuated through the water in your body, and they can build very, very high amounts of stress. So that would be my concern, is what actually happens to the body and the internal organs if something happens to be just the right size to resonate.
So so you have like octaves in music. Is that just something that we recognize, or is that I know the reason why music works is because the waves are like somewhat similar or half a wave. I wonder if you were to drop it down to like a low enough octave where we couldn't hear it, it wouldn't hurt us. If it would still levitate it. I don't know. You know, I might be using the wrong.
Well,
Sorry,
the
just pop
the frequency of the wave, the higher the frequency, the more the energy.
Huh?
Yeah,
And
the
there's also,
slower it is, the
breakdowns, so, like,
more energy it's going to impart.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Well, what
you-
about the other way? If you go up,
The
I guess
other
that's
way,
when it's
yeah, There
dangerous.
should be some frequency that would not be harmful. I would
Yeah.
think, because it would be too. It would only like impact the outer membrane of the skin, for example.
Yeah.
And then you just put earplugs in.
Yeah. And you might not really hear anything. You might feel it at that point, really, more than hear it. I don't
So
know.
check out my my
So-
levitator and look at the notice that
I know, yeah.
look at my put it on. Notice that the piece of foil above is spinning a lot faster than the piece of styrofoam is.
Next time you find an ant, put an ant in there and try to keep him alive.
No, I'm into non-violence, dude. I don't want to.
Or a human cadaver, just cut out the eardrum and see if like it ruptures your eardrum. Because if it's enough force to lift your entire body, I think it could rupture your eardrum.
I bet you it would make
quite
an
easily.
ant float, maybe.
Yeah, but
Do you think
why?
you feel powerful?
Well, just to see like what happens to it, you know.
You know, break.
Probably be very just confused as fuck as
Yeah,
to what
you
was
would.
going on at that present
Be the
point in
only
time.
ant that's ever been through that. Be a pioneer.
Maybe not though.
This ant is
maybe not.
Let's test the limitations of ants to vibratory mechanics.
I'll volunteer.
I think it'd be like chaos theory, so you'd have to test them throughout because they would change.
I'm gonna see if this beetle might, or a wing of it might,
Or a roach, a small
levitate when I
roach.
get
Scare
my
it.
levitator.
Looks like a large
Flush
tick
it
or
out
something.
and see.
Fuck, that would scare the shit out of me.
Looks a lot
What was
bigger
that,
when you
Bernie?
shove it up like that.
Yeah. And then
That was
once
really
we can do it with sound, we have to do it with photons and light, and do it with light because you can.
Keep
I
movie
mean,
magic,
maybe
people, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful. This is the business.
this is like how they suck the cattle up into the UFOs.
Could be.
Well, that's an interesting story all on its own.
I think
Yeah,
that's the
actually, you know what? There was an incident like that happened up in Aurora, Ontario, Canada, back in, I believe it was the 60s.
Uh-huh.
Oh, really?
And,
Oh, there's a couple stories in Canada with UFOs. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Actually,
fascinating. They're really cool.
They were into barbecue too.
they were the barbecue.
Well, they have the ones reported where the organs are missing, but they also have some other people that have some other explanations for that as well. So it's debatable.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
aliens just like barbecues. Huh?
Yeah, I think that's it. The proof is, see, I'm an archaeologist, and so when we find bones, that's the first thing we look for is for cut marks or a saw cut bone. That's proof it was a barbecue.
Laser beam mounted right out.
You're an archaeologist,
Yeah.
like, in those years, have you found a giant skeleton? A giant?
Giant skeletons? No giants. Found a lot of cow skeletons and deer and horses and cats.
But have you dug up any ancient mounds or pyramids?
No. I have had a human. I have dealt with human remains.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of hidden pyramids in Serbia.
In where?
That's cool.
In Serbia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bosnia Herzegovina.
Yeah, it's part of Serbia.
Well,
Oh, in Serbia, there's a bunch of hidden pyramids.
Yeah.
the Bosnian pyramids, and then it connects up through all of Serbia and.
Are they aligned with stars as well? Do you think
Well, a lot of
Is that why we bombed them?
Yeah. Hey.
There's also a bunch off the
Interesting information.
Crimean coast.
Aliens.
Love it, Jeremy. Love it.
That's good.
It's
He's an interesting
alien.
character. You should see him now. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, I like that, Bernie. Where's that place called again?
Got earbuds in.
This is the Medicine Hat Badland Guardian. So it's actually
Medicine
in Alberta,
Hat
right by where I live. Only 100 kilometers.
cool.
He's got iPods.
Yeah, he's got earbuds
Right,
in.
yeah,
How
he's
did they
actually-
predict that they were going to have the white?
That's
white
not an earbud.
Well, it's an oil derrick, but this photo
Yeah.
got famous known as the Indian earbud or the Indian iPod.
Yeah.
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 You know who introduced those to him?
This is like an
Steve
Apple
Jobs is
advertisement
looking down.
waiting to happen, dude.
Steve Jobs
No, I
looking
was,
down and smiling.
You're gonna see this
It
on
was
like
John
subway
Teeter.
ads in New
John
York
Teeter is
City,
like, hey, I went too far.
iPod.
You
Apple.
get the joke? Get the joke? Okay.
John Cena and the
Where the fuck
Butterflies.
is
I missed it.
earbuds, dude?
Sorry.
Come on, man.
John Teeter, the time traveler.
Oh.
I'm telling you guys.
Back.
I have a theory.
Of all the John Teeter lore, I think the most interesting piece of media release that is posted by him was this picture, a very low quality picture of a laser beam that
The
is
laser?
passing over the
laser
top
that was curved?
of the head, and
Yeah.
it's making a huge curve downwards, which I thought
Yeah.
was particularly interesting.
It's what
curved
got me
laser,
thinking
huh?
too. That one picture, though. That one picture. It was, yeah, it's neat.
You know, I wonder if you can find
Yeah.
that. You can find that laser beam picture where he's trying to use that as a
It's
justification.
just a regular dude, and it's going like this, and it's curving. Yeah, you're right. But I don't know. Can you do like tricks with that? Like, can you, like, do you know? Like, I'm always trying to figure ways. Like, I want to believe, but I'm skeptic, so I always want to try to find ways to disprove it. So I wonder if there's ways you can
Debunk it.
curve that beam, like with the photograph. You know, it was in the late '90s, early 2000s, so it'd be harder to do. That's the thing. The older it is, I think, the harder it is to fake it. It's easier to fake it now, but back then, if you can make it like that, it makes you question it a little more and investigate a little further. I think, you know.
Welcome, Third Phase. Pleasure to have you, boys.
Hey guys, what's up? Looking, everybody's doing some exciting stuff here, man. You started off just doing a little jam sesh, but man, I'm seeing some pretty cool.
Well, you know, we're going to have
This is
to
kinda
end
cool.
it with an epic jam sesh with all of you guys now that you're here.
Yeah. Brett was just saying maybe we're recording some music, but we don't have any lyrics on there. Maybe we could just send you that that track that we just jammed to, and then you guys could I don't know, come up with some lyrics. Might be fun.
It's always good to start something from scratch, though. No reference. Start something from scratch. That's always the best way to go, and then it's just fun. It's pure creativity.
Yeah. Give me a topic and I'll just go, dude. Like I do that all the time. I have a rap here that I wrote, and because remember you said that there was Cardi B was hosting some things, so I used the Cardi B song, and I wrote a whole UFO rap, and now I gotta find it.
Well, maybe you could listen to this music and come up with the lyrics, and then we could send it over to Michael so he could sing it. I don't know. Michael Rozier from Dark Hour Paranormal. He's our lead singer for our band.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Have you ever seen any of our music videos?
I see a couple of them. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen any in a while, man. You gotta are you guys doing them consistently?
Yeah. We're trying. Unfortunately, our drummer, we did that album in a month. We did the 12 songs, 5 music videos, and it just came out of nowhere. We're like, we dabbled with the guitar 15 years ago and played with it for about 5 years, but kind of 10 years ago we kind of gave it up. Just like, there's so many great musicians out there. We're not going to compete. We're not going to be able to do anything of substance. But for some reason, after we got this thing,
your music is soul, brother. That's all it needs. All music, just that rhythm mixed with soul.
Yeah. And man, we just all of a sudden just started to play the guitar and we recorded it. And we're like, this is something, we never really recorded any of our music. Then we sent it to our drummer friend and he did this really cool drum set along with all these kinds of cool sounds, and then we're like, wow, that's amazing. And then we're like, maybe we could get somebody to sing it. And then that's where Michael from Dark Hour came in, and we sent it to him over there in Boston. So again, he did all this remotely, and it's crazy.
Oh,
that's actually pretty cool.
We gotta go meet up with him, man. Like, we should be recording with him for all of his stuff. I could write lyrics for you guys. Like,
yeah.
Here, I'm gonna get my lyrics for this song. I just to share with you guys what I got so far. You guys are gonna flip out.
I'd like to JP knows. JP is JP here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Hey, JP, man. So you devised this contraption prototype yourself, basically?
Well, yeah, Bernie sent me a text message saying, "Hey, we're gonna do this show about sound." So I'm like, okay, let me see what I got sitting around. So about 5 or 10 minutes later, I threw this little thing together and hooked it up to the signal generator, and that's what we've been staring at. It's not particularly interesting, but hey, for all the cheap parts and for a couple of minutes of assembling and soldering, it's not too bad for super glue.
Yeah, not bad for super glue. So, how heavy is this foam, would you say?
Extremely light. And like I said,
there we go.
Those transducers is probably using about 1/10 of a watt. So we've got about,
Would it be possible to do the mathematics of upscale? Because that's my question tonight.
I guess you weren't here for the earlier part of the show, but I was mentioning I'd used a 100-watt transducer to lift a 7-gram cup out of a resonating chamber.
So I'm looking at something, I don't know, amusement park level. I don't know. Again, you're talking about the dangers of the frequency and what it could do to the human body. But again, we don't know because right now we're just dealing with styrofoam. So we're not dealing with anything biological at the moment. So is it a fact that it would damage biological life?
Or
are we just
squeeze stuff?
Well,
That's
if you can do it right and protect those eardrum rupturing frequencies, then you might be all right. You know what I mean?
Like a suit. That's what I was saying before.
What about if they're deaf? Like we could
So
do
I'm
sign
playing a
language.
video of cymatic frequency in water right now, and that would be the issue: is that if you're blasting that strong of sonic frequencies through your body, that it might literally rupture your cells from the motion.
So like, all right. So we also got to mitigate the brain cell and eyeball rupturing frequencies as well. All right.
Blood cells,
noted.
Veins.
Well, just like
capillaries.
Capillaries.
Testicles.
Yeah, all that fun stuff, right?
You know what I mean?
You get sterilized.
This is what I'm afraid that
only unfortunate
this is what we're looking at, the disruption of the volume.
Plasma, right? Plasma.
You know what? Your balls rupturing in the levitation machine while you're flying.
See this.
Listen, look, you could fly for 20
Sounds
minutes,
like an
but
experience.
balls might rupture.
Well, this isn't conducive.
You could go one of 3 ways.
I always thought that like if we made artificial intelligence and it wanted to control us, it would do it through the resonant frequencies.
Yes,
through your balls.
Would be
100%.
Believe me, the military
have military satellites.
The military has
broadcast
all the
certain
data on ball
frequencies.
rupturing frequencies. Believe me. Yes, they do.
What is it? The Havana syndrome? What is all that about?
Oh, that's
Right?
just,
It could be exactly this.
Yep.
You know.
So we're looking at the device, and again, it's such on a small scale. There's no danger to DP at this moment, even when he's messing around with it at a close, because there's no wattage coming. But then again, what if we were able to just to build it up and we work with the styrofoam ball that weighs 300 pounds?
Yeah.
What would that cost to do that? Whether any biological, we're not dealing with biological. Let's just
300
start with the styrofoam ball that weighs 300 pounds.
300 pounds.
Yeah, it's a big guy. We gotta go there.
All right, yeah, 300-pound styrofoam ball. You know,
Aluminum would probably be able to handle heavier weights over the styrofoam just to its static principles.
Yeah, true.
What about even, I was saying earlier, and people might have thought it was a joke, but felines and cat hair have a really nice static charge. Maybe Maybe there's other
Yeah,
kind of
we could
material.
start
that's
with
better
cat.
than
Also,
that.
like,
I think I
Absolutely.
agree.
You're
what
onto
about the
something.
shape of the
Like,
tinfoil? Like if you shaped it in like a cone or something, like two cones
You work your way
faced
up
together.
to a tic tac.
There we go. I've got total control over it now.
Anyone have a cat that we could?
Now I
What
can
if-
bring it all
Sadly,
together.
I
Try,
think
let's
my
start with
dad
Pinky,
would-
Mark's
Oh,
lab dog.
Of course, right as I say that, right? As I have total control over it. That's exactly when I knock it out, and of course, it was because.
So what's a price tag though, guys? That's what I'm saying, because we have friends that have, like, you know, they say if you could figure something out, and I know this is, I'm not sure, but they've got big bucks, and again, there's science here. There's something going on, and if again, like how much money would it create? Like I said, to levitate a 300-pound any object.
You get some
It doesn't have to be
NFTs.
styrofoam.
probably,
Bernard.
in exchange, you could probably get some, you know.
Well, if you wanted to levitate something heavy, I
Yeah.
think that you would be using a little bit more than
You
just
could
putting
probably
some.
answer that the best.
There we go. Yeah, now I can bring it up and lower it with a lot more
Yes,
control.
if we can float a
I think
Saint
this
Bernard,
is what
I think we'll get
Hutchison
some
was
funding.
working on too, right? If you watch some of the old videos with Hutchison and his levitation experiments, he's using acoustics, he's using rotating electromagnetic frequencies, and he was just getting that right combination. And he was able to lift 50-pound cannonballs off the ground. So
Yeah,
maybe it's a
I
combination.
know you're very skeptical of that,
controversial.
Jeremy. But
Jeremy, do you
I've
believe
actually
the
been
Hutchinson
talking to
effect?
Hutchinson. Yeah, and I've been
believe
talking to
that
John. We're going to do
there
a
are
couple
some video
streams here
effects.
coming up in the near future, and I'm going to bring that up with him.
What about this grab a flyer,
we
dude?
talked
We got a
about
whole group.
APEC,
We
his
have a
wife-
whole group dedicated to this, man. They've got like 1,000 posts a week easily, and they have got
each
no.
piece.
What
Where have they
about
gone?
what's that guy's name who did it all by himself? He moved all the rocks. That's all in at nighttime. What was his name? He said that he was
Scallon.
able to move the rocks.
Edley
by.
Scallon.
He did
Yeah.
it for his
So what do you
girlfriend that
think?
never came home.
Yeah, the 16. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's pretty
Castle,
crazy.
the guy on that.
Yep, he had, but there was a guy
Really?
who did like the mechanics and the leverage and the calculations on a lot of the stuff, and was like, "Oh, you could do this with what he had with the chain hoist, like combined, because he used a 30-ton hoist combined with like a 10-ton hoist."
But isn't that an enhanced amount of this experiment right here, with heavier objects and moving them with like at ease?
I don't know, because there's been talk about like this,
So goes the story, though.
but how do you do that? How has anyone
By
has
yourself,
anyone
there's
done
like
this?
5 foot.
Hey guys, I
barely
got a
five
split.
going
It's
through.
good talking to you guys. Keep up the music. Let's keep in touch.
Oh, hold on. You guys got to do a
Oh
quick
yeah, I got
chat.
the lyrics now,
So
man. Let me
let's
show you. I'm
start.
not messing around.
Maybe we'll catch up later. Gotta go.
Ken, start us out with the beat, brother.
All right, start it off. So like, let's do this to like Cardi B. Secret ties and government lies. I'ma let you know. It started way back with a little old crash, Roswell, New Mexico. When they shipped it straight to Beneath Right State, way out in Ohio. And they studied it well with help from Battelle. And that's how the story goes. Howard C. Cross was the motherfucking boss who managed all this work for Battelle. And Elroy Center was not the inventor of nitinol wire by himself. See, they gave him some debris. They said, we found this overseas, so take a look and tell us what you find. Elroy went into the lab and dissolved the piece in chlorine gas and published it in 1949. I'm messing up. And later on in life, he told a story to his wife about a strange piece of metal like debris. Said he really wasn't sure what the metal was for sure, and then he knew it wasn't made overseas. Oh. Marilyn Monroe, we all know that hoe. Well, someone all told her about the UFOs. Some say JFK got slayed by the A to protect what the NSA knows. But the tech was key from alien debris, and they shot anyone who told. And the NSA and the CIA are exactly Roswell old.
CIA. Hang on.
Oh wow!
When they staged their coup to
That's
try to
cool.
bury the truth, they told to that silly girl, "They know it's government proof of a secret coup. And that's who really runs this world." Can't get into the groove that I have.
Detective crave's already been made, and the lab's not far away. But the scientists are paid, and the secrets are trade,
and that's not how we play. So go ahead and run to Area 51 and dodge all the bullets on the way. You've been taken for a ride. There's no aliens inside because they're all still in Dayton to this day. At the Aeromed lab, there's a man with a badge and a gun and a large set of keys. And there's an underground place, maybe somewhere in that space where they hold all that alien debris.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I got, man.
Well,
That was
great.
dope. And you're dropping
That was dope, dude. I just accidentally figured something out as I was playing around with this thing. I figured I'd finish off the show here by setting that piece of foam on fire, but the ions from this high voltage power supply knocked it right out. But I did notice something else interesting, which I've never tried before, never seen anybody else try. I've got a small electric arc generator here, and watch the arc respond to the field.
Wow!
Now,
whoa! So what happened? What is that?
Check it out.
How
You
come
can
it
actually
changed
see the
color
arc
like that?
trying to
Oh, it's
follow.
pulling it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pulling
pulling
it.
The sound waves are actually controlling exactly where that arc goes.
Oh, wait a second. We got another layer now.
That is pretty.
Look
huge
what happens
right
to
there.
that arc. Oh my god. Oh, the
That's a bit of
Control
crazy scientific fuckery.
Oh my god. We're gonna fucking harness the lightning.
This is so cool.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is it, but it's not in a bottle. It's right in the open, but controlled.
Yep. Tesla, baby.
Thanks to this wonderful teeny weeny device created by this very smart individual.
Dude.
Look at that shit. That's a total C note right there.
Yeah.
Remember, it works the same way with ions. You can control the
Mr. Boyd, do you have a
might not be able to see
spark
them, but they have serious power.
It's the beginning.
Oh, that's much better with a full battery. Yeah. Had to change out my battery in that little power supply.
Cheese is what that shit is.
You just wait. That's only the first verse, guys. I got like I got like 4 more coming.
Imagine if you
It's
could
gonna
get
be
the arc to match like.
We're gonna make a whole long story for this documentary with the rap song.
It's always good. It's a good way. People will listen that way.
Hey, Bernie,
People
this
have
is
the
Mike.
attention span of a goldfish.
You get a
these days.
song to pull everyone in. That'll be it.
That'll be it.
I
Oh,
gotta
hell
sign
yeah.
Right
off.
song.
Okay, Mr. Boyd. Sorry,
I
it was
gotta-
Thank you, Mr.
fun
Boyd.
I'm on
today.
the early schedule.
Appreciate
Got to get up at 5 a.m. So
Fair enough. Thank you for
Hey,
everything,
it's been
Michael.
fun though. Enjoyed your company.
Likewise,
You
brother.
too.
Yeah, likewise, folks. Take it easy.
Take it
We will
easy.
see you soon, my friend.
See ya.
Our friends.
Later,
All
man.
of our friends.
Moneybag, Michael Boyd. Moneybag.
Does anyone know who Sparky was? Or was that someone's second camera?
What's that?
Is that me?
Am I supposed to keep going? Is this?
Oh, yeah, you're
It's your time.
Okay, I gotta go. Okay, I'll do some soul stuff. Hang on. Okay, I'll try it. As long as you guys don't mind, that's all. I just don't want to annoy anybody. Hang on, check this out. I'll do something.
Oh, we all love it.
Are you still streaming on your?
I'm still streaming on my
Get over here!
Get over here.
Whoa!
Finish him. Liu Kang. Johnny King. Raiden. Sonya. Shang Tsung. Scorpion. Alien technology.
Does anyone know who Sparky is before I let them in? Because we have lots of cornballs. Jeremy, you're muted, brother.
Yo, I can write. I can't like freestyle though. It's not easy.
Okay. Does anybody know who the Sparky is that's trying to join the stream?
No idea.
Come on.
Yo, who's Sparky? Get on with the malarkey. Making up raps, so Lincoln Parky. Hey.
It just says Bernie, back to you.
Bernie.
Well, all right then. Back to all of us, because it's a group effort.
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah. Thanks for inviting me on. I'm live over here, and that was amazing. Ominous.
Everybody on here is amazing. Just thanks for listening. That's all.
Yeah, where can people find your channel? You have a channel on YouTube or anything?
I'm on everybody's channel, so you just type up Ominous Beatbox on YouTube, and there's like 40 videos.
Dude, we got to get you on again.
Ominous
I'm gonna
Beatbox
hold a
Shambhala. That's a good one. I like that one.
We're gonna do this because he does some of that too.
I was there.
We will definitely feature again, my friend.
Yes, let's do this again. This was fun, man.
Yeah.
I want to sit down and we got to do an album like they said. If Blake Brothers can come on, they came on. If they can do an album in a month, let's do like one song. We'll focus on this one song all about the UFO and the Invisible College and all that shit like that. That will be like the first verse.
Based on X-Files.
I couldn't agree more.
We'll do like a whole X-Files album.
The topics trend through music.
Yes, they can trend through music because I can write music. I'm knowledgeable about the subject matter, and I can put the words together and make some songs.
I'm glad to meet everybody that's on here. Everybody here is just so full of knowledge. I love just soaking that in like a sponge. And thank you for having me. And thanks for everybody's input on everything. It's really duly noted.
We got a whole bunch of musical people here in the audience and in the
exactly. This is just the beginning of a series that will be reoccurring. The science of sound.
Yeah,
sound is important. It gets through to everybody. But there's some people that don't like music, so you got to wonder about that. What about how do you get a frequency through those individuals if they don't like music? What is their Achilles heel or strength in order to motivate them in that
Maybe
kind of
we
way?
just don't want them.
Maybe
We
they
gotta
just
make the music better.
maybe they
For
just
some
have
people,
music that
you
jives
know,
with them.
no, but hear me out. You know, when there's people that like when you go to bed, you like just pure silence, and then there's other like people that like certain sounds. They're like soothing when you go to sleep. Maybe those are the only thing, but that's still a frequency. That's still something that you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
maybe you can do
That's
like
what I'm throwing down here.
soundscape beatboxing, like.
Music's good. I love music, but it's not for all the time. You know, when I go to sleep, I like silence too. You know,
But for most people, they like music. That's a weird phenomenon. Everybody likes some kind of music, some kind
If
of
I listen to
frequency
music when I sleep,
on
I
their
always
mind.
listen to it.
You know.
Yeah, I need white noise, or I get like consciously connected to the song and then stay
Yeah,
away forever.
stay away and keep listening to it.
But it
That's
can
what I
destroy
do.
you if you get too repetitive with it. That's the problem. It can be good, but then it can also slow you down because then now you're in the loop. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's
I know,
all
I've
about
heard it.
tuning in or tuning out. You know. So,
That definitely happens quite
speaking of tuning out,
Thank you for joining us. That was impromptu, but always a pleasure. Much love, guys.
Finally got
Travis,
on the
Jim.
camera.
It was nice meeting you guys. You guys were really
this
great.
was amazing.
I love these
I'm always in the
Amazing
background.
collaboration. Let's do this again sometime soon.
Soon sounds good.
Yeah, thank you everyone who could join us live, man. You know, enjoyed this quite a bit.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oklahoma.
Yep, I'm off live right now, so
That's such a shame.
we only had like 60
sorry,
people
still
watching. That's
alive.
pretty good.
I guess we will end
100
this.
people.
60
We
was it?
got like 100 and something people watching. On
So
the
we
other
had
channel.
like a total of 200 people probably
How
watching.
did we lose them?
Before we end, sorry, because still live for 2 more minutes as I play the outro on my channel, done on Jeremy's. Cousins Brothers, thank you for joining. Boyd,
Yeah.
thank you for joining. Mike, thank you for joining. Jeremy Travis, thank you. Jeremiah, thank you. Ominous Ken, thank you all. Love you all. And because it's all about keeping things positive, I will play this one more time because stay positive.
This is the bit, isn't it? That confuses me. It's like, did we choose to come here to get this sorted out, or is this just seems a little unfair, doesn't it? That you know, we seem to be here and there's this parasite messing up our experience.
And, you know, I know in my own life, the times that I've made major changes, it was like it became more painful not to change than to change. That was when I made big changes.
You know, it's this whole ridiculous narrative of, it's, you know, it's an unsafe world. There's not enough for you. It's scary. Everyone's out to get you. And clearly the old civilization was completely the opposite to that. It was all about empowerment, like literally.
Cosmic resonance, I think they called that one. Or
Cosmic
like
resonance, that's a better name.
Real science, you can actually produce free electricity, and this is part of what Tesla was doing, is the differential between the top of the spire to the ground actually creates an electrical differential that you then connect to another wire that goes into the ground, your grounding. Put that into the third phase in your circuit, and then you have a bell ringing circuit, and that actually produces plasma electricity out of the air. It's real technology. These things actually function producing electricity. It's crazy.
The movies are the truth and the news is the lies. They've completely flipped it.
You know, when you look at everything with new eyes and you come across information like she was born into a very wealthy family with elite connections, you know, it means something very different now to me than it would have even a few years ago. And it's our free will that they've really also messed with, because we've been lied to and we react based on lies. Just getting their independence and end up in civil wars for 20, 30 years happens a lot.
Because we keep choosing to pick up the gun and use it on ourselves instead of building and uniting and accepting that we are one people, one spirit, one harmony on one plane that together, united, can achieve anything we dream of.
So do you want to, you know, wake up or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult?
And then give them pieces of information that they will then pursue themselves and look into, and then they'll wake themselves up.
I was going to mention it's the whole red pill, blue pill of the Matrix. I mean, that of the movie. And you can consider that movie as a documentary because they're telling us something about what's happening here. So do you want to, wake up, or do you want to just keep going along because the change is too difficult? Wake up.